Volume's fine? Good. Okay. Because sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I can hear the music just fine. And then she'll be like, what music? This happens like relatively frequently. I think we're good to go. Okay, so take that in. Go over to here. Grab this. Go back here. And say, hey, Twitch chat. First off, it's time to say hi, YouTube. But second, if you want to help out the YouTube stream, you can do that by opening up a second tab, because we do stream to 2 platforms. We stream to Twitch and YouTube. Twitch is the one where you get fast responses from me. On YouTube is better for lurking, probably, but you do get the occasional hello from me. And there you go. Also, this is a funny comment. Good Will Hunting is hilarious because Matt Damon wrote a movie about himself being the smartest man on the planet. You're not wrong. But you could also just say hi to the VOD if you want to say hello to the VOD watchers, Twitch chat. But I'm pretty sure there's still no dwarves to name. But we return to Godly Tombs. So who here has seen this fort up until this point? Do I like platformers? No, not really. What's my favorite platformer? I don't really have one. What was a platformer I didn't fucking hate? Yeah, probably Rayman, actually. Rayman Origins is incredible. You know what's a banger movie that doesn't get the credit it deserves, Rosh Guy? Here's 2 movies, okay? The Raid Redemption and Hard Boiled. 2 very different eras of movies, but phenomenal movies that don't get enough credit. All right. Well, one's a modern classic. The other one's just a classic. Have I seen Heat? Of course I've seen Heat. Fucking Michael Mann. Mwah. Michael Mann. The most recent movie, Hard Boiled, the entire thing's on YouTube. You can just watch it for free. Nobody owns the distribution rights for it in North America, so you can just go watch it on YouTube. The most recent Michael Mann movie I watched was Ferrari. Also incredible. Where's the zombie? The zombie crocodile is dead. Real brief tour to start. This is the surface. Are rivers essential to the game? Like, are you asking, do you need to settle on a river? No, you don't. You do not need to settle on a river. Water is essential, though. Water is essential for injuries and is the only way to make sure dwarves don't die of infection. So water is essential, rivers are not. As you can see, the population is very, very low. We're not getting any migrants. We're not getting any dwarves. They're like 27 to 29. I've seen both those movies. Yeah, Hard Boiled is the old, I guess I would call it an old kung fu movie. It's definitely a kung fu movie. Hong Kong action film is what I would say, but yes. This is the surface. The ice never thaws, and there are still some titans on the surface. I have had to forbid everything that's on the surface because it's too dangerous to go up there. Although I'm thinking we're going to go and try and get some of these items by digging underneath them and channeling upwards, like right here as an example. But yeah, this place it's hell. And it's hell because if you go to the surface, you immediately die. just immediately you die. Because it is 2 biomes stacked on top of each other because it's bugged. And the upper one has evil weather, and you don't know when the evil weather is coming down. So if you happen to walk into the evil weather, you instantly die. There's also a bunch of zombies on the surface called abominable smoke zombies. They are opposed to life. They attack you unprompted for no reason. And the abominable smoke zombies, if they bite you, then you become one, including this adorable little guy. This adorable little abominable KV guy. Also, as far as I'm concerned, Obruck, the Forest Titan here, has a pet zombie pony. Strangler's still alive. Thanks for always mentioning it. It's still hurting my frame rate, and it still makes the It's still hurting my frame rate, and it still makes all of the notifications unreadable because it's in such high-speed combat. I'm probably going to catch the Strangler today. Get rid of it so that life is less annoying. Because what I'm going to do is channel it down and in, probably. This is what I'm going to try and do. Yeah, it's not fun. I think I'm probably going to go directly beneath it and just do like this. And then fill these up with cage traps. And then just channel up in the middle of it. Because it wouldn't be that hard. Rip to the dwarf that tries to do that. I always say this, Vuckrock, but my god, when is Twitch chat going to have some faith in my ability to keep dwarves alive? Everybody said rip to the last dwarf that dug straight up to get the gear, and they were all like, oh, that dwarf's dead. Nope, dwarf survived. They were fine. Anyway, so the dwarves in the fort are pretty much all named as far as I know. Yep, all of them are named. And they are Arkansas, Sweet Feet, Bioactive, and Darius Cardin. This dwarf here, Sweet Feet, actually got married. Oh, by the way, if you type in exclamation point characters, you'll see the named dwarves that aren't named after viewers. This dwarf got married to the founder, the expedition leader of the fort. And this expedition leader... oh, did I not turn the bot on? Nope. Now it'll work. The expedition leader got married to this dwarf, which is really funny because this dwarf was the most upset dwarf in the fort, so constantly yelling at somebody in charge, and the only person that they could yell at who is somebody in charge was the expedition leader, so they became really good friends and got married, which, very funny to me. Bioactive, who's a child, Darius, and Demonoid, and Dilphomastosaurus, Elfie Bean, Grunty Thirst, Irel the Rookie, Indiridius, Libash the firstborn child in the fort, as well as Neezer, and Potpourri, and Raging Cave, Salva, and Shinobi, and Cyberic the founder of the fortress, Signal, and Thykut, and Vuckruck, and Wizard Bold Man, and that is everybody. Now, this fortress is in a state of bad, and that I mean, if I do turn on DF Hack here and type in exterminate, you can see that there's 299 Batmen on the map. So what we've been doing is using zombies, cage-trapped zombies, to trap the Batmen, or not trap the Batmen, to trap zombies, like this one, Glass Cannon here. Who we've been nicknaming them, and then releasing them into the caverns so that they could just go fight the zombie, or so the zombies can go fight the cavern invaders, and then burning them all once the zombie eventually dies. We had a crocodile that killed and wrestled with hundreds of them. I can't even remember what its kill count was, but it died in the hallway. And we've had some pretty good events like that. And also, I do have to point out how perfect it is that this door is just being held open by somebody's underwear. So, you know. But we do have it all blocked off, so that part is good. And this is where we drain the caverns. And also, I need to clean the caverns a lot. So we're going to be very carefully trying to stay out of combat. I do have squads, but as you can see, they're not exactly stable currently. I want to say we're all in a burrow because of the fact that we're all locked in here. And I am recording every single second of footage of this fortress, which is going to become one big narrative video. And I have a structure in my head of what it's going to look like as an actual video. And I have some very beginning early bits of it edited up and some chunks from the first two VODs selected to edit together into a video, which is hopefully what I can do this weekend. The original goal for this fort was to simply don't die. Which sounds easy, but the actual reality of it is it's not easy in the slightest. And so going forward, the remainder of the plan for this fort, because we're not getting traders and we're not getting migrants anymore, is I want to release hell onto the surface. That's what I want to do, while killing as few of my dwarves as possible. That's the goal. Because I think I could make that into a video in a very fun fashion. So let's unpause and let the game continue. Right now, we, like I said, are currently in the break time burrow, which locks them in the tavern and the temples, basically, so that they are forced to spend time and tell stories and do all of that stuff. And apparently, this dwarf saw a dwarf tell the story of the ascension of the dwarf necromancer Cogsec Quake save, not quick save. Man, if only his name was Quick Save. Quick save to the position of King of the Crypt of Beaches in the midwinter of 300 at the Creative Pumpkin. And it is interesting. I wish I liked that game, Resfane. Like, I do. I played quite a bit of it in early access, and it just never grabbed me. And I tried it again when it came out early access, and I still don't like it. Like, it doesn't do it for me. You can't pure stagnant water. If you're playing adventure mode, what you have to do is you have to find rivers. But there is no way to purify stagnant water. It happens, Raging Cave. Me? Having 2 squads? I have 1 squad. I don't have 2 squads. We're also getting a an artifact being made by Firstborn. Which means I need to turn off the burrow, I think. Runs off and grabs obsidian. Oh, man. So, Labash the Firstborn, Moldath the Lucky was his father, who actually was one of the few migrants to successfully migrate into the fortress, and died defending the fortress from a pile of enemy Batmans. And even though the fight overall was successful, his dad was one of those who fell, which is absolutely horrific considering the child was forced to endure the decay of his father. But here's hoping that this artifact here will be dedicated to him in some way. Something that allures you? Yeah, I get the appeal of the game. I've played enough of it to know that I don't like it personally. Mostly because there's one major thing that I really, really like in a colony builder that the game doesn't do, which is I want to get attached to individual characters and be able to follow stories, right? Whereas, being completely blunt, you don't, and oxygen not included. Oxygen not included, the dupes are a resource to be exploited and used up, not characters to get attached to. And that makes it feel more like Lemmings than a colony builder, where I get attached to members of a colony. So I bounced off of it way harder than I should have. 1 more hour, you're a quitter? There you go. The best type of quitter. I have a question. Why? What was the impetus? And how are you resisting the, urges, I suppose? But congratulations. Very proud of you. Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of the reason for me deciding that, or the reason that I came to for why I wasn't enjoying my time playing it. It's not a bad game by any stretch. I think it's a very, very well-made thing, and I think it's really unique, and it stands on its own within the genre for sure. But, yeah, I need more personality. I need more character. But yeah, Creed. Congrats, dude. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Congrats. Get through it. And also good to see you. Hope that your week has been solid. I'm trying to drink less caffeine, which isn't working. But I'm trying. I still drink less caffeine than I did a couple years ago, so. I'm drinking tea today. What kind of dice? If I can ask Stone. So this kiddo over here making quite the artifact, grabbing yak leather. It is a craft dwarf shop, so it's nothing crazy. Does value merriment and emotionally distant. How old is this child? 5 years old? I'm not going to change my mind, he says. Grabs some stray sow bones. You know, I think once this kid's done this artifact, I'm going to start up a decorate with bone shop. So how are you doing here, kiddo? Are we still, Okay, he's muttering. What have we made? Obsidian, 2 pieces of shale, yak leather, and stray female pig bone. Okay. Is there anybody in particular that you guys would like me to follow? Raw animal skin. No, only leather. Well, actually, if it's a foul mood, then probably. Because foul moods, not fell moods, but foul moods, they can use things that they wouldn't normally. So if it says that they let out a, if it says that they start to stalk and brood and usually claim a butcher shop, my response is probably, because I don't actually know, but I would assume probably. Let's follow the founder for a little bit. She's still married to Sweet Feet, is a kindred spirit with Potpourri. And, you know, she's doing all right. She does want to eat a good meal and fight and craft an object, but, you know, I think that's all right. Looking at her jobs, she doesn't have any crafting-related jobs. I'm thinking I'm actually going to give her a specific craft store workshop because, you know, we're a small fort and I've kind of accepted this now. So let's just go down here and make a tiny little workshop and unforbid both of these so that this job doesn't get immediately canceled. 31 was the highest pop. No, this fortress lost some members in the last episode. It was kind of tragic. Chat can maybe fill you in. I want to be vague because I want the video to be fun when I do finally get around to making it, but... And also, nope, that's not what I want. I want... Founder, you're now going to do this job. Currently, you're going to go eat. I wonder what you're eating there, Dwarf. Prepared pig heart roast. Prepared pig heart roast. The ingredients are minced prepared pig lung, minced prepared pig heart, minced prepared pig lung, and minced prepared pig heart. Helps with digestion, I'm sure. Everything is so much easier when you just tell the truth, she says. Sure, there's something with that. Six-sided Asian pattern got him donkeys ago, but I don't know where they were. You didn't know where they were for ages. Gotcha. Labash the Firstborn, the dwarven child, has created Liromaraz, an obsidian ring, and offers it to the fetid cradle. It's an obsidian ring. This is an obsidian ring. Our craft worship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of yak leather. This object is adorned with hanging rings of obsidian, shale, and menaces with spikes of shale and pig bone. I forbid it and unforbid it and check to see if I have any... Well, actually... Chat, where should I put the firstborn's ring? Is that something that should go into a stockpile? Is that something that should go to a dwarf in particular? He just offered it to us. Or is that something that should go to a particular noble? What do you think, chat? Also, hello, Tom T in the YouTube chat. What's the best climate biome to start? If you're new to the game, just temperate. Climate doesn't matter so much. You think expedition leader should take it? Any other thoughts, chat? Sell it? How? We haven't had a successful trading caravan since we got here. They all died. So unfortunately not an option. Why not Tim? Well, he's a child. I can't dedicate an item to a child. How about this? Here's a better idea. Who's your mum, firstborn? Your mother is Vukruk, who's a diagnoser. I think I'm going to make Vukruk into the sheriff and give it to Vukruk. Then I need to do something for Vukruk. I need to make Vukruk a sheriff's office. Which, not too difficult. Also need to make a tiny prison. There's space right here. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sheriff would be easy enough to do. And then I need some prison cells. So I'm thinking I widen this hallway and we'll build some prison cells. Give us something to do for a little bit while we figure out our next plans. But yeah, nothing can be sold in this fort, unfortunately. Also, hello, Lord Walnut. Yeah, if you're new to the game, I would recommend calm or wilderness biomes and try and just stick to something that is, you know, temperate, basically. The thing to actually worry about is whether or not it's wilderness, calm, or untamed wilds, just because that's the actual kind of difficulty of the biome. Dwarves don't care so much about temperature, but it does matter a little bit. We're in an ad break right now, so I'm just going to leave the game paused until the ad break is done. But yeah, chat, how was your weekend? What have you guys been playing all weekend, if you were playing games? Or if you worked, how was it? Was it good? Best part of my weekend was going on that hike, which there is a post now, a members-only post specifically up on the blog, which can be found for a couple bucks. But quite happy with the hike and the photos I was able to get. Didn't end up doing the hike we wanted to do. We had to do a different one because we weren't able to get parking for the one that we wanted to do, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it's just kind of been the way of hiking around here since the pandemic. All parks require hiking passes and parking passes now, so just to limit the amount of people that go to them. It's good because it means there's more people getting outside, but it's bad because it's hard to go on the hike you want to go on. So we settled for a different one, but it was good. It was fun. Probably the best part of my weekend, honestly. Was visiting your daughter and her partner in Florida. That's always good. I assume the weather was great. That or sweaty, which is great by Florida standards. I assume the indoor air conditioning was great, actually. Say Cheese Runner, Papers, Please, and Mini Metro. I saw your Mini Motorway, I think, and also Papers, Please videos pop up. Baldur's Gate 3, Atomic Heart. Gotcha. Those are video games. But yeah, no, I mean, the actual plan for this fortress is I'm going to try and safely dig a tunnel to hell. Elden Ring DLC for about 80% of the free time. Wow. But that's going to take a little bit of digging. It'll be okay. It will be okay. Cud Norland and Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I've heard weirdly good things about Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. And also, I need to play more Norland. Norland was a lot of fun. Lots of good patches coming in for that, so I think I'm going to let them patch it for like a week, and then we'll play some more of it. There's still like 24. What makes you think that there would only be a few of them left? I've had a bunch of them caught for a while. There's still about a dozen or so on the surface. Plus, the ones I have in the cages. Like, what makes you think there's only a few of them left? You went into that assumption you went into that statement with a presumption, which is incorrect. There's still more than half of them left. Most of them killed each other. Most of them are just kind of standing idly. They only killed each other if they were actively fighting, when the fighting broke out. Or not, that's the wrong wording. They only killed each other if they were actively in combat, because they just they seem to just continue doing whatever behavior they were doing last. And in the case of the zombies, that would have been continue fighting if they were fighting from the get-go. Playing chess. Gotcha. Weekend was uneventful. Played some Elden Ring. Picked up Cataclysmo. How is that? I saw some gameplay of it, and now I'm kind of tempted to try it, but not that tempted to try it. Like, passively tempted to try it. I didn't realize it was the Moonlighter devs, though. That's kind of interesting. My eye is twitching. It's always weird when that happens. It's like, what did I do to you, eyeball? You seem fine. You were melting outside for the most part, but it was a good time. Yeah, well. It's a better Castle Story. Man, I haven't heard Castle Story in a minute. I mean, it has that building up stuff, right? The building up stuff seems kind of interesting. I'm kind of interested in that mouse city builder that Hooded Horse is publishing, which now I need to go look at the name of it again because I already forgot it. Very memorable, obviously. Whiskerwood is something that I'm interested in. Very interested in Whiskerwood, very interested in Falling Frontier for Hooded Horse releases. Yeah, that's kind of my feeling on it too. I mean, the most interesting thing that Cataclysmo is doing for me is building up makes your walls heavier, which makes them harder to knock over, which is interesting. Like it's very verticality driven. Moonlighter seems like it would be the perfect game for you, but you never got into it. Yeah, fair enough, Shake. And also on YouTube, what's about Songs of Six? I like Songs of Six a lot. It never grabs me the way I feel like it should. I streamed some of it the other week, and it's good. It's really good. Like, really, really good. But, like I said, it never grabs me. Like, I play it, and I go, yeah, that was great. And then I forget to get back to it, and then I never feel the need to get back to it. I don't know if that sounds like a good thing or a bad thing, but, like, I've played it throughout its early access period, and every time I feel like, yeah, I need to get back to this, and I definitely need to play more of this, but then I go to play it, and it's like, Brugan, thanks for the Prime subscription. That's the first subscription in an hour. Greatly appreciate that. Brand new Prime sub. Check, and I get a couple beers for that. What can knock over walls? Nothing can knock over walls in Dwarf Fortress. In Cataclysmo, everything knocks over your walls. Falling Frontier looks like a very pretty version of... Ooh. Battle Sector? Battle something. Mobile games made by the developers who then went and made... I'm blanking on the name of it. That series of Battle Void. That's the name of that franchise that it looks like to me. But they went and made they're the people who are making the other Space Haven. That's it. Yes, I wanted to remember it without looking it up. No, Star Sector is the first game by that developer. How's Child Dwarf Neezer doing? Pretty happy. Relatively happy. I mean, Moldath the Lucky is no longer with us. Died in combat, but seems to be doing better than their spouse. Huh. So Goden appears to have been struck down, who was an abominable smoke zombie on the surface, was just killed by 2 reindeer smoke zombies. Which is kind of crazy. But because that dwarf was struck down, it means we need to memorialize them, because they keep their souls, which is really weird. Well, I don't know if that quite counts as infighting. They're two different species, but... Because if they're fighting before they're zombified, they continued fighting. We had some migrants make it into this fort, but the thing is they don't make it in consistently, and we didn't have a single trading caravan make it in or a single diplomat make it in. So it's not that they can't make it in, it's we don't get them anymore. Children of Dead Earth with 4 X mechanics. Hang on, I've never heard of Children of Dead Earth. No, they didn't count in my population. They've never counted in my population. But when they retain their souls, it means that they're still alive, if that makes any sense. Also, I need to fix my camera a little bit here. When they're considered alive, it means that when they die, they still need to be memorialized. So no, they're not counting in my population. They've never counted in my population. But I still need to memorialize them when they die. Can I purify it? No. You cannot change the biome that you are settling on. Nintendo doesn't make card games. But the second you say war crimes, I'm like, all right, one, don't use war crimes as a meme in this chat, just in general. Do not use that to describe games, period. And okay. If you do that consistently, that's a very good way to just not be allowed to chat in this chat. So essentially, they're not counted as part of my population, Neezer. There is 21 dwarves in this fort, but when they die, I have to memorialize them. Signal getting upset again. We're gonna have to maintain the hangout room for a bit, but you did just get to equip a good item, so you need new shoes. But simply put, the map here isn't safe and will never be safe. Also, congrats on this on the streak. I still don't know if I should acknowledge those or not. Chat, can I get a round of beers for the streak? Maybe I should acknowledge them. I don't know. Chat, should I acknowledge those? Do we care? I still don't know if I care. I don't know if you care. So I guess that's actually the question. Some people seem to care about them. I think they're just FOMO nonsense. Any excuse, sure. Totally. That's a beer and a half, Norstat. Jeez. Careful, it's upside down half the time, though. You might want to make sure it stays in. All right, you guys can follow the manager for a minute. I'm going to go check something. I'll be right back. Your next streak is in 3 streams and it's 75. That seems like a lot. It does generate FOMO. Is it good FOMO or bad FOMO, though? Because bad FOMO, and the reason I say bad FOMO is something that if you don't like it, then you're embarrassed that you no longer have it. That's bad. Good FOMO is something that's just kind of fun and doesn't really cause negative thoughts. But if it gives negative feelings when you don't get it, that's bad FOMO. And I'm not a big fan of bad FOMO, and I don't like encouraging bad FOMO. Currently, I believe I am out of boulders, so I am making some new boulders. It doesn't foam out of mouth for you, so you don't mind it. Also, I just got welcomed to my chat room. That's not good. Anyway. So we have extra dwarves here that we can use as defense. I've also got to close this. So let's pull that lever. Got a whole bunch of dwarves praying, and they probably really need to pray. Couple of upset dwarves, like, immediately. It's kind of impressive to me how quickly they become upset. And also, let's check the founder real quick. But, Lobsters, it's good to see you. How have you been, dude? Expedition leader taking a nap. Be interesting if you could terraform biomes in DF. It's one of the many things that's planned. It's one of the many things that's worth waiting for, probably, in Dwarf Fortress. But yeah, I'm ready for summer to be over. I don't know about you guys. I like the gardening. The gardening is nice. It's nice to have a garden that I can work on and care about and maintain, but man, I'm so tired of summer already. I miss the winter. I miss the dark. I miss the cool air. We had a nice cool day yesterday, and now I miss the cool air. I miss the just general vibes of winter. Hope it returns sooner rather than later. Been greatly enjoying the job you started? That's good. So did you push a bunch of patches at your first day at CrowdStrike? And then go home early? Because if so, congratulations, you made a lot of history. I really enjoy the memes of first day at CrowdStrike, pushed 2 patches, went home early. You like the days where it doesn't rain on end for a bit? I don't know, I own 3 umbrellas. So I had 2 chains. I only needed 2, perfect. And what's the other thing I needed to check? You need a weapon rack, an armor stand, and 1 chest. Turns out you don't need tables, which I think is kind of crazy. Wooden chest. We're going to give you a door. We're going to give you 2 tables. We're going to give you 2 thrones and a throne. And I'm going to go into military. Give you 2 weapon racks. I'm going to go into military. Going to give you 2 armor stands. Going to go back into military once again and give you a table. Or go into furniture and give you a table. And I also need to smooth all of this. I've seen several procedural generation panels with Tarn. Apparently the last one, or the next one he was supposed to do has been canceled. which is unfortunate. Another abominable smoke zombie has been downed by these rampaging bulls, it seems. This one here has killed Ral, which is interesting because this is a very big change. We haven't had any smoke zombies downed in a while. Which means there's probably also relatives of these dwarves dying now, because they're not dead when they're smoke zombies. So the dwarves don't get upset thoughts until they see them dead. They do feel, oh no, I haven't been around family in a while, but, you know, they're not actually dead. That's not what I wanted to do. I have to select them. I also need to make some more slabs. Can Google Tacticon? The thing is, and I hate to break it to you, every single, like, procedural generation panel Tarn does is virtually the same. And I've seen, like, 4 of them in person. I'm okay, I think. Unless something, like, wildly new came out of it. As long as he's alive and well and still doing his thing, I think I'm okay. But they're also often interesting if you've missed them in the past. All right, Buck, how is you do? You just need that chest. But yeah, autumn is probably the best season of the year. It's also the season where I plant garlic. It's also a season where I don't need to get up as early and my creativity is better. I don't know why, but when it's hot all the time, my creativity gets really bad. Like, I become a significantly less creative, more bored person in the summer. Just a person who's generally tired with life more often as well. All right. We have a few things we could attempt to mess with now. I could try and loop around this zombie, could try and recapture this zombie. But that's a little sketchy, I don't know. But was it a particularly good one? Ray Trace, if you watched it. I feel like I've seen that panel too many times, so unless it's happening in person, I just kind of don't bother these days. Unless it's something I can actively attend. Also, if anybody's wondering what I was checking, my blood sugar is a little low, so brain is running in a bad circle right now, and I don't like it. I keep checking them. I've checked them about a dozen times in the last 90 seconds. It's Signal, Sweet Feet, and Salva. They're the ones that tend to spiral when I turn the break zone off. I might just lock them in the break zone, which isn't hard to do. Three twos and a 1. How is that impressive? Who was the other one? But they're upset for the same reason every dwarf in this fort is upset. Lack of family, lack of life goals, and general sad. General sad. It's more twos than you'd expect. I think you are easily impressed. But, you know, being easily impressed means you're easily entertained, and that can be a good thing. Holy shit, my brain. Chat, if you ever get the option, don't get diabetes. It sucks. Everything about it sucks. It makes thinking hard, makes irritability go up. It's just unpleasant. It's bloody unpleasant. Is it smoky for me? Well, okay, Montana's pretty far away from me. That's the first thing. We had a little bit of smoke yesterday, but it was probably different fires than Montana. Let's grab you, and you. Okay, so that's Jason is one that I've seen before, but I haven't seen the other ones. Maybe I will look it up. I don't know. I'm curious about how different it is from the previous ones more than anything. But at this point, that's probably a speed it up to high speed and skim through it kind of deal. New puppy pick on Discord. I've seen a lot of puppies in my life and just want my blood sugar to be normal again. I'm okay. I don't need to see another puppy. Thanks for offering, though. I'm sure chat will enjoy it. Ever find out where Tarn's moving? I haven't looked into it at all. To be honest with you, not really a TMZ kind of thing. I don't really care about personal life when it comes to Tarn. Like, I only realized very recently that apparently Zach owns a bunch of lizards. But unless it's shared publicly, it's not something I'm going to look out for or look into, and I can tell you for a fact it has not been shared publicly anywhere. So no, I haven't found out where Tarn's moving, and quite frankly, I don't care where Tarn's moving. Aside from the fact that if it negatively affects my interview time zones, that will be annoying. Noodle Pog, Long Pog, how you doing, Diamond? I feel like shit. You will go and stalk them. If you do, I will ban you from my chat. So don't do that. Because I don't need to encourage any of that. Even if it's, sarcasm. None of that needs to be encouraged in any way or format. Whew. YouTube is slacking today. Only 17 of you watching. Hey, YouTube, don't forget to leave a like on the YouTube stream. Appreciate your presence, though. And hello, Water Loco in the YouTube chat as well. Tarn deserves some privacy, and he deserves all of the privacy that he wants. Every single shred of privacy that he wants. I haven't felt good physically in years. So... yeah, I'm also Tarn is the sort of person to generally mention stuff like that after it's happened. Yeah, totally. It's nice to be somewhat neutral feeling, which is good for me. Can only like it once? Sure. But I appreciate you for liking it. I'm not asking you to like it twice. I'm simply saying, hey, if you haven't yet, don't forget to. Sorry, Gordy. There's only one logical thing to do to a statement that silly. Hope you're doing all right, though. Let's make another couple dozen rock doors because I'm going to need them. So here's hoping that you just being locked in the tavern pretty much and being forced to spend your time relaxing. Here's hoping they recover. If by heaven you mean inevitable death, absolutely. Yeah. And also, hello, Hangman. How are you? I think that moving to a new country is something that's legitimate to say in public, but yeah, I'm also kind of surprised he said it. Quite surprised he said it. Salva wants to practice a martial art. We could just get this squad training. Because 2 of those really upset dwarves can just go train in there for a little bit. It's probably not the worst thing to get them to do. But yeah, if by heaven you mean inevitable death and destruction, then absolutely. Well, at the very least, that cleared their need to craft an object. All right. I don't care. Do you enjoy playing it? I don't need to, like, gatekeep what is and what isn't a video game. Yes. Colombian genius in the YouTube chat. This is, in fact, that fort. Which is why I don't get migrants or traders. And a break. I mean, I'm not even talking about my mind, Dominoc. It's my body. Like, when you live with chronic pain, you forget what it feels like to not be in pain. So when people ask you, how are you feeling? I hurt. It's not like it's something you can get used to. And every day hurts. So, some days more than others. Today's pretty bad. And also I exercise almost every day. Ride my bicycle a lot. When I'm not riding my bicycle, I also have the resistance bands that I bought ages ago, so I do some lightweight training with that. You're referencing the upset dwarves? Yeah, fair. I mean, I don't blame these dwarves for being upset. They should be upset because it's mostly dwarves that were in the military. Well, with the exception of Sweet Feet, but that dwarf witnessed his, like, all of his friends in a migrant wave die in front of him, so I'd be upset too. It's chronic pain. I could take extremely strong drugs that would mute my ability to think properly, and that's about it. So, no, not really. That's kind of the shitty thing about chronic pain, is it's chronic, and you can't really get rid of it. So, either extreme painkillers or complain a lot, and I take the second. Never been interested in what is X-type discussions, because if you look too far into anything, you end up with weird expectations. I think that there's just a lot of shitty gatekeepers who like video games. And that's all that it really comes down to. It's like, are you interested in gatekeeping what is and what isn't part of the hobby that you like? No, not really. I mean, I get grumpy when people talk about what is and what isn't a roguelike, because I'm very particular about a genre that I care a lot about. But even that isn't as serious as I make it out to be. Like, for me, it's more of it's not quite a joke discussion. It's more of an attempted education discussion about how history is important in video games, and that's it, really. Like, it's less about the distinction and whether or not something can exist or not exist. But, yeah, I mean, I personally have absolutely no interest in visual novels. They just don't appeal to me. I am not the target audience for them. But that doesn't mean that I can't allow them to exist. Also, the real-life level design short that I put up the other day that was edited by the Suited Giraffe is going wee right now, it looks like. I mean, look at this. Cool. If you have a lot of stagnant crimes, yes. Post a link. Okay. Well, there it be. All right, so we need to... we need to first finish sealing up the fort. That's what I'm working on right now, is trying to seal off entrances. Because I'm not going to win in these fights for the caverns. Not unless we start getting migrants, and I don't think we're going to. So because we are not going to win, we are essentially giving up on the possibility of taking back the caverns entirely. They're too big, and there's too many of them. I have permanent nerve damage. So numbness, phantom pain. I got the nerve damage from being hyperglycemic for multiple years. So it's like most prominent in my chest. So there are days where it's just kind of numb, and then there are days where it's phantom pain. So when it comes to nerve damage, nerves do heal, but nerve scarring is kind of an ongoing issue that I have. So just some days it hurts. It's hard to explain. And it's one of those things where it's like, there really isn't any meds they can give you for, like, nerve damage. At least ones that aren't scary. So, I'm avoiding it. I think we're going to slaughter some yaks, because I've got a bunch of adult yaks and pigs, so let's make some leather stuff and slaughter a bunch of animals. And I'm going to attempt to locate a wall studded with gems. Because we're not going to dig too deeply today, probably. But I would like to start planning for it. Where does that connect? Right there. Put that there. See if we can spot another one. Because I know there's multiples of them. There's another one. This map isn't that deep. You're not wrong. This map isn't that deep. Ooh, that sucks. Yeah, I used to be able to play musical instruments, and I can't because I stab my fingers so often now. All right, how are these dwarves doing? You still want to practice martial art? Well, we'll wait until you've leveled up something. I mean, don't really have an option but to hang in there, right? And usually I'm pretty good at not complaining about it. Level design of a mountain on the other. I mean, hey. Sometimes you get me in a mellow, low space, and sometimes you get me yelling about a mountain called Golden Ears. So, chat, what would you guys like to see me work on today on this fortress? Since you guys probably have some idea of what, like, the end goal for this fort is. You know, it's pretty simple. Seal the fort and hide from the Batman. But if there's any particular portion of this fortress you guys would like to see me work on, or any particular goal that I've mentioned that you guys would like to see me work towards, let me know. I'm curious. Dig a... What, just like strike the earth on the surface and then just like a demon and flames flies out of it. We're not gonna fight them, Potpourri. Like, just period. Like, that is not a goal that I have, because I know I won't win. What I want to do is I want to make a tunnel to the surface, and then when I do dig too deeply, I want them to fly to the surface, basically. Because we only have 20 dwarves, and I've tried to fight hell on this map before. They are no pushovers, is the way I'll put it. They're not pushovers. So I think probably what we need to do is go back down to this layer. When it comes to hell, go back down to this layer and see if I can just dig straight up and out. Well, not there. Yeah, I'd have to go through that. So let's go to the other one, which is right here. Again, we'd have to go up and through a bunch of stuff I don't want to. So instead, we'll have to go from, like, here or something, which I could probably do. That is my idea, is to turn this place into an eternal battleground. Yeah, that we can do. How exactly am I going to get more dwarves? We've never successfully traded, and we stopped getting migrant waves a long time ago. So how exactly do you propose I try to get more dwarves? I'm not going to do a generation fort. If you want to do that in this map, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to do that. My time is worth more than that, and I'd rather play more forts. I've done that before, and it's well documented that I will never do that again. Would I ever do a video showcasing? I would recommend that you watch the video that I called I'm Taking a Huge Risk Making This Video. I recommend you watch that one because it'll answer your question. Generation fort it is. I guess I'll just turn the stream off and go take the week off then. Yeah, I would rather do that than make a generation fort. Definitely. I would much rather do that. Sounds significantly more enjoyable. No means no, mate. I'm not going to do it. So please stop asking. Can you get some addy safely? You can be very cautious with your digging, but there's no guaranteed safe way to dig adamantine. Like, there just never will be. There's always going to be some risk. Basically, it's exceptionally boring, nothing interesting happens, and you play the same fort for months on end, is what a generation fort is. I ran Long Death for 470-odd years in-game, and we had multiple generations, and it was widely reviewed by my chat by the end of it as one of the least interesting series of streams I ever did, and was so boring that even a lot of my regulars wouldn't tune in and were excited and happy when I did something different. So after having that experience and doing it myself and also being extremely bored during the process, especially towards the end, I was ecstatic and happy when that fort ended and I didn't have to play it anymore. So I've been playing this fort for a couple weeks now. It's not exactly new, but yeah, I'm never going to do another generation fort. So when people ask, I just roll my eyes and sigh because it's like, well, I'm happy you missed it the last time because you didn't know how uninteresting it was. Shark Jumping Walrus, thank you very much for the 100,000 channel points thrown into the ether because you used to be rich. Chat, can I get a round of beers for that? But yeah, this game is phenomenal, and if you want to play it that way, you're more than welcome to. It's not for me. Not my cup of tea. I need to have active goals that I'm working towards aside from I gotta wait 4 years before I get 2 more units that actually are useful. I think that making a generation fort is interesting once because it teaches you the importance of how to make sure that your dwarves don't go crazy and keeping your children happy and such. Like, I think that side of it is important and interesting. But once you've done it once, you've done it and you never really need to do it again. You know, Dwarf Fortress is a game that is already criticized for being too slow for streams, period. So it's kind of, hysterical is maybe the wrong word. It's kind of funny to me that, like, it's already too slow for Dwarf Fortress is already considered to be too slow for a lot of people, just for streams in general. And you guys want me to play it slower. Like, I just, was that my oldest fort? Yes. Yes, it was. You've discovered an expansive cavern deep underground. Did I miss it by, like, a tile? Oh, wow, I did. All right, well, that's easy enough to fill in. Although, this would be very easy to section off. Let's just get this locked off. And also, let's do this instead of down there. Why? There's, like, no dwarves on it, though. This fort's actually running really low. Like, this fort's running really bad, considering, like, the number of dwarves we have. Yeah, I feel like everybody wants... It's sort of like world domination in Dwarf Fortress. Everybody wants to do it once, and then you try it, and you go, oh, I see why everybody only wants to do this once. And then you generally don't do it a second time, because, you know... It's something you only want to do once, and then you've done it once, and you go, ah, okay, I get it. So I think I'm going to oops, I just clicked on something that I shouldn't have. I'm going to go here and here and connect this to this side, and then this side right here is just going to get a wall. It's going to get filled in, because this is actually the way into the fort. Not even that far up we have to go, which is pretty good. So let's just... Like, chat, I've got a question. Have you ever done a challenge run or a meme run or something in a video game that seemed like it would be really interesting, and then the further you got into it, the more you regretted doing it? Because I've done that with a couple of games. And every time I've done it, I'm always concerned towards the end that it's going to ruin the game for me and that I'm not going to want to play it anymore. And that was definitely how I felt with Long Death with Dwarf Fort, was I was very worried that by the time I was done with Long Death, I wouldn't be able to play Dwarf Fortress anymore. Fortunately, I obviously am still able to play Dwarf Fort, but getting to the end of the long drive, that game has an end. I've seen people streaming it, but I thought that game was infinite. Okay, who's about doing interesting things? Let's check in with you. Okay, so all of these military dwarves appear to have filled their need for training for a little bit, so we'll take them off of training again. Would I say that Long Death was my most popular fort? Not by a country mile, no. I mean, you need to remember how big my stream was when I was doing Long Death. I was averaging 50 viewers. And I obviously didn't stream on YouTube. So, like, I was a much less known person. I think at this point, I mean, I could tell you what my most popular fort was probably. It's gonna search on my YouTube channel by views and then scroll down until I see a VOD. Well, I mean, actually, probably Weather Mountains is my most popular fort, but... Better question is, why didn't I get a pop-up for that? I guess I need to fix that setting again. It's probably like Water Lungs or Heatstone. Wait, no, not Heatstone. It's probably like Water Lungs, likely. That's the one I hear people talking about the most. Apparently Stone Flights is the most viewed VOD, which unless I missed one. Which I think is kind of surprising. But no, Long Death is not my most popular fort. River Dances, yeah, that one's higher up. Stone Flights. Yeah, probably Water Lungs, because it's the most viewed. Part 1. Road Torch is also up there, too. Heatstone's up there as well. Yeah. Water Lungs was really difficult to play, to be honest. Like, that was another haunted biome that was just hard to play. Okay, who's the strange mood? Neezer is making an artifact. Something castles. I don't know. Damn, that's low? I mean, I was a barely surviving content creator for a very long time. You mean the one I just did? Ranger Rig? Like from a couple weeks ago? When I did in the River Canyon that got flooded. Yeah, you're gonna have to be more like specific than that. These VODs go to YouTube? If you go to the Blind Extras YouTube channel, VODs are usually around a week behind. Because it takes them a while to process, and then I schedule them a couple days later. I don't put them on the main channel because I don't want to... I should probably just stop doing that and just put them on the main channel again, just in the VODs section. But I don't like... I don't like my subscription box getting clogged up with VODs from streams, so I assume that there's other people like me. The river one that had dragons. You mean the one with the Gorlak Queen? There are none. Kyokyo Doka. Because challenge runs are nonsense clickbait bullshit that was invented recently by YouTube. There's lots of themed runs that you can do for Dwarf Fort, and that's just set whatever limitation your heart desires and do it. Content stratification. What does stratification mean in this instance? You need pictures of stacked cloth. Forest, well, rough gems. Do you need bones? Shining bars of metal, stacked cloth. Skeletons. Okay, that's probably what you need. Okay. Gotta unpause that. That explains it. Yeah, the one with the Gorlak. Yeah, that one was pretty fun. That one was fun because of the cave dragons. The cave dragons made that one really memorable, and I think it ended really well too. That one we were also only using wooden weapons, or like weapons that like it was another no metal embark like this one. Yeah, Dwarf Fortress has mega projects, but mega projects, the thing is like, okay, challenge runs are generally something designed by content creators who make content for content creators so that they can inflate their view counts by getting the clout of doing a challenge run, right? That's a challenge run, usually. Whereas a mega project in Dwarf Fortress is a large project or like specific build style that you want to complete. Mega projects, while they're really cool, especially to talk about and great for like, you know, discussing on like Reddit or the Dwarf Fortress forums, they're not necessarily fun to watch because usually what they are is really long-term fortresses. Similar to like generation forts, right? Where, while in theory, they probably sound really cool, they're not necessarily the most fun to play, right? Because they usually take a really long time. Like as an example, in Long Death, this is going to sound awesome. I built a tube that went from the surface of the fort, like 20 layers above the ground, all the way down to the magma sea, and filled it with lava. That took me like 3 months. Real time. What does it do? Nothing. It looks cool. I mean, if there was achievements in Dwarf Fortress, then it would be a more interesting thing, right? Because then there would be like some outside reason to do that, aside from I felt like it. Monument to my boredom. Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think a lot of people who watch this stream, especially these days, just don't realize how small of a channel I was running full-time for ages. Which is also why I say, you know, money is stressful in this industry, right? People want to make money and get raises and have consistent income. But, like, I could literally lose 2/3 of my income and I'd be okay. Because of how little I lived off of before. And I could go back to doing that. It would suck. I wouldn't be able to actually go outside or do anything again, but I survived. Food challenges you've completed and listed on your resume. Does your digestive system ever ask you about them and why you decide to hurt it like that? It's an odd thing to put on a resume, dude. But I mean, hey, if it works for you. I guess everybody needs some joke additions to a resume. Shows that you have a personality and are still human. Is it career related? Yeah, is it relevant? Are these relevant food challenges? My knee-jerk response is I doubt that they're relevant, but the 198 rubber ducks are. Got it. Like, see, if you were applying for, like, a food tasting or, like...
Lanix 7 cheered.
Money.
X500. Morning blind. Chat. How's the fort? I'm currently testing out new headphones.
What brand?
Kinda hoping they can do a good job with music, too.
What brand is the headphones? I'd love to know. Fort's okay. I mean, it's a little quiet because of the predicament that we're in with, you know, like the zombies on the surface and the lack of the migrants and such. So we are working on digging down. What's up, Tom Fool and V in the YouTube chat? Strange mood. 560? Oh yeah, no, 560s will do great. 560s are nice headphones. I mean, this is how I would write this. I ate 100 hot dogs in under 30 minutes, and this shows that I am an efficient worker with high threshold to pain, and I have little logic and mental sense for my own well-being, which means I'll do lots of overtime without asking strange questions. And I also don't value my own life and wish to die in a pile of gluttony. So this is why I'm applying for Rockstar Games, and I hope to work in the trenches in for your QA team. Your DAC from Mayflower Electronics just died. I use an optical push to headphones and audio monitors. Any recommendations? I use a Zoom U44. It's fine. I don't know if that's a recommendation. That's my DAC / audio input device. But it's also like it's got auxiliary inputs and stuff. It's for my microphone as well. So I don't know if that's the kind of recommendation you're looking for. But it is what I use. I'm also planning on moving this stockpile into here. Because I've wanted to make this area look a little nicer for a while. And by a little nicer, I mean look like a crafting zone instead of just being a bunch of scattered stuff outside. So moving this stockpile over to here. And I'm moving the mason shops and the craft store shops into there. which means all of a sudden there's about to be a bunch of blocks on the ground. Also, kiddo, how are you doing? Pictures of a forest. Let's check cloth. Oh, wait. Wait. Nope, that's not it. How about I just do this? Nope. Well, you've got 2 trees, you've got bones. Rough gems. Do you want cut gems? Seems to just be more of everything. Let's just check cloth. Thing is, where did I put that loom? I know I had one. I don't know where it ended up, so I'm just gonna, well, actually, can I do places? Places. Nope. Workshops. Loom. Let's unpause this. Do that. Bought them from Prime Day. You figured it was a high time to get out of using Bluetooth ones. I mean, if you're not walking around with them, yeah. Bluetooth has its place, but like if you're sitting down and you want high quality audio, you don't want to be using Bluetooth. You wonder how fast you can make a mountain home? Are you talking about like in a speedrunning sense? I mean, I probably wouldn't be the person to do that for one particular reason, and that is I like to take my time and design things that look pretty. So it's like speedrunning, especially in Dwarf Fortress, is kind of the antithesis of what I want to do. It's not an infinite artifact, no. Did some dwarves die? Yes. Today? No. They died the other stream. Last stream. Your pay may be limited to company credit. Oh no, you get paid in V-Bucks. Oh, wait, no, sorry. It would be shark cards. Probably. Okay, so you're doing that. Let's see, is that what you need? When this dwarf moves, does that dwarf move? Yeah, it was towards the end. We went and did some raiding in the caverns and lost a good chunk of dwarves. It was fun, though. It's a slow job. I think I need to release a zombie into the caverns. All right, so it's not that. You know, I think it might be spider silk specifically. So let's try for that. Because I have very little of that stuff. So that's my current assumption. Yeah, there is the speed. I don't know when the last speedruns were or even how good or optimized they were. I know that like pre-Steam, Mountain Home was like 4 hours. But I don't know about post-Steam because to be honest with you, I don't have much interest, so I haven't looked. But I would guess probably between 5 and 10 hours. So I don't know how high this goes, but it doesn't go up into this cavern layer. I could just go more direct here, but I don't think that's necessary. Well, ain't that exciting? 8 hours and 12 minutes. Okay, yeah, so it's about where I kind of... I estimated, what, 7 hours? The Forgotten Beast, Githu Kenkoth. Githu. Attic has come. A gigantic, hairy earthworm. Oh, that's easy to kill. It has a spiral shell and it squirms and fidgets. Its mint hair is short and even. Beware its deadly blood. Where is it? Huh? Oh, okay. I didn't even know this was here. Huh. Okay. It may cleanse the place of bats. No, an earthworm won't. Earthworms are very delicate. It'll probably die quite quickly, if I had to bet. But we should try and get a bat cleanse going. So we're going to release a zombie to kill the batmans. I'm going to go to this gate. We're going to pull it. And we're going to go to this gate. And I'm going to pull it. And then I'm going to go, oh god, there's a ghost. So I'm going to go here. We got this one. What was the name of you? Esmil. Also, that's good news. We've got a child who is moving. Probably to go get silk, if I were to bet. There you go. You got a second piece of silk. So that's probably what he needed. Yep. Sweet. Neezer has begun his artifact. Any bets on what he makes, kids? It's a crafts dwarf shop is the one he's claimed. Yeah, I want to say we lost 4 dwarves in the last stream. All right, so now this has been opened up. So this guy now has access to the outside. So the idea here is that if, which there probably is, there happens to be more batmans, they'll come in and he will leave slowly. They're currently relatively close to the entrance, just outside. But the question is, of course, can they even path here, which I'm not certain they can. Well, I mean, they could go around it. Yeah. Which, I don't even know what's going on over there, but there's something happening. Crown, ring, scepter, amulet, figurine. So we engrave another memorial. Uh-oh. It's a lot of rotten meats. I need to embiggen this stockpile. Let's just try and get this stuff into here. How goes the fort? It's okay. I mean, it's a slow process, but we're working on things that are interesting, so here's hoping that we can make this fort into something cool. Yeah, I don't know what's fighting with them, but I'd have to cheat to figure that out. But there's something going on. It's not the zombie, because the zombie's still there. But what it very well might be is a forgotten beast that I haven't seen that has moved onto the map. Oh yeah, you know, it's still, ooh, lots of lag. I'm gonna pause game. Because I need to block these off. We're getting there though. We've almost blocked off the entire fort, so that part's good. Also would like to get, I would like to get those blocks into a proper stockpile so they're not just sitting there. Something else I would like to do. Which means... I could go peek over there. Oh my god. Look at the lag. Whoever was saying earlier, Blind, I'm amazed by the frame rates. There's got to be something breathing fire over there. Blind, I'm amazed by your frame rates. And then just like, And, you still amazed? Yeah, we did in fact lose some dwarves towards the end. And we are not getting any migrants, for anybody wondering. Frames have left the chat. Well, I mean, it could be a fire breather. It could also be several other things. Okay, it's still just 299 Batman. Wait, actually, was it? Sorry, 379 Batman. 35 undead. 31 amphibian men. Shoutouts to Titan 11. Well, I mean, here's something I'm okay with doing. Let's say extinguish all. Okay, yeah, it is a fire breather. Which means the frame rate's about to go back down. But at least it answers that question. You blame the multiverse? There's a lot of multiverse collapsing here. It's like caving in on itself. I think I'm going to go right here, and I'm just going to make a block stockpile. I was going to make a quantum stockpile, but honestly, I don't care that much. Let's just go bars blocks and say stone clay.
Just when I wondered why I'm paying for Prime.
Ah, you know, honestly, I encourage you to cancel Prime. Like, genuinely. Like, you should. Oh, look at that. Nuclear Sneeze, thank you very much for the 20th month. Welcome back. Chat room, can I get a big round of beers for Nuclear Sneeze? Continuing to give me a portion of the money that they're giving to Amazon every month. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that. And just as a reminder, and a weekly sellout moment for me, I have this job because people like you, watching the stream right now, watch the stream, support the stream, and tune in and hang out. So if you want to help me keep this job, the easiest way you can do that is by checking out and supporting my blog, subscribing at one of the tiers over there, liking a YouTube video, following the Twitch channel, or throwing money at my face. And you can do that via the tip buttons, which can be found around the place, or alternatively subscribing with Prime on Twitch, becoming a YouTube member, or subscribing on Twitch traditionally, or throwing bits or whatever the heck people do these days. So thanks for the support, and thanks for watching the stream, and thanks for buying merch and stuffs. So now the question is, what do we do with this animal trap? Is there any history on this one? This is a pig bone animal trap. All craft workshop is of the highest quality. It is studded with steel and decorated with spore tree and encircled with bands of cushion shale cabochons. This object menaces with spikes of pig bone and spider silk and black cap and great chalice stony. On the item is an image of Burr, Net Orb, the dwarf, and dwarves in spider silk. Burr Net Orb is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Burr Net Orb to the position of Queen of the Crypt of Beaches in 98. And after reading that, you know what? I'm gonna do something weird. Something real weird. Something that I don't believe I've done in I don't know how long. I'm gonna make a vermin catcher shop. Can't remember the last time I did this. Genuinely cannot remember. On the item is a picture of a beer. Crypt Burr. Burr is a dwarven name. Yes. And I can place a slab. and deal with that spooky ghost. You've legitimately never built a vermin catcher shop. Well, let's see what we can do with it. You know, why not have some experimenting? I've also never made a tutorial about it, so maybe it's partially my fault. But we keep getting these artifacts for animal traps, so why not? That's right, it is my fault. Yeah, it's my fault. I never made a tutorial about it, and my lazy ass made an entire community, like, simultaneously continue to not care about something like most of them almost didn't care about to begin with. I need to figure out a reason to make them, though, because, like, they do allow for some interesting farming options. Does it even have a use worth making a tutorial? You can make, that's how you need it to make dwarven milk. So, maybe? But at this point, like, making tutorials for Dwarf Fortress just isn't worth it. Which always makes me feel bad when I say it out loud, but there's so few people looking for them, and I've already done such a large number of them and covered so many of the bases that all the stuff that people are actively looking for is covered, so. I haven't seen a single purring maggot appear in this map, though, so, I mean, maybe. Catch live land animal. Let's do that. Happy to help, Click. I mean, I know that they've helped a lot of people, but covering new stuff until the next big influx of people for Dwarf Fortress is unfortunately not the most beneficial thing currently. Which doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. I should definitely be doing it, but it is not the most useful use of my time. Yay, Dwarf's been put to rest. So, Thycat the Pathfinder is catching some live land animals and immediately canceled the job. Why? Could not find path. Was trying to catch something that was inaccessible. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to get into F1. Which team should you become a fan of? No. Formula One is kind of like wrestling. And when I say wrestling, I mean it's kind of like WWE, like show wrestling. If you're watching Formula One, I would recommend being a fan of Formula One, not following a particular team. Because if you follow a particular team, you're going to get Formula One fatigue, which is where you realize that, oh, it's about as real as Formula One, or it's about as real as wrestling sometimes, where team with most money generally win lot, and that sucks. And then teams that you like will go on long losing streaks. There are some teams that I don't really like, so I laugh at them when they lose. Currently, Sauber is the team I don't like, but I enjoy watching the whole field, and that, in my opinion, is the most enjoyable way to enjoy Formula One, because when a driver who hasn't won in a really long time comes third, that's exciting, right? You're not cheering for somebody to win most of the time. Half the time you know who's going to win probably before the race starts. What you're looking for is upsets in the mid-pack. So I wouldn't recommend you become a fan of a particular team. Although if I were to say I was a fan of a particular team, I would say I enjoy Aston Martin, even though they've been bad recently. And I also like following McLaren, because they're entertaining. And Haas has had their moments of being entertaining as well. Try and follow drivers if you want to follow something specifically. The nice thing about Formula One, though, is it doesn't matter who wins. Everybody watching is just happy to be there generally. So you don't get as much animosity from in between fans as you do in a lot of sports. It's more just they're here for the party, and it's fun. Formula One's at the front of my brain because bought tickets for Formula One Montreal this morning. So going to that with some friends again. as well as Krug Smash. I know Krug Smash uses the vermin catchers sometimes. I mean, you do catch live land animal. They bring a cage trap over, like one of the animal traps. And then if there's a vermin available, like let's say, I don't know, a rat or a slug, then they'll catch it. And then dwarves can adopt them as pets. They become farmed. So like if you have a bunch of tame cave spiders, your dwarves won't get bit by cave spiders, just as an example. And they still spin thread and webs and stuff. But turns out there's nothing available here, which is kind of funny. I think that if I moved my pigs out of this area, there probably would be, which I might. I could do that. So let's check on our zombie. How's our zombie? Zombie over here. Still hanging out. Hasn't really gone anywhere. I don't really want to go out there and bait them in, but actually what I could do, I could bait it out. And I have an easy way to bait it out. Dig down here. Dig over here. And we'll use this to bait stuff out. Just pasture some pigs back there or something and then unlock the door until they walk into this way and then let them sit. Your brother went to the one in Miami? What year? Might have been the same year one of my mods went. The one in Canada is significantly cheaper than the one in Miami. I think our tickets came to like $450 for the weekend, which for a 3-day event, like, it sounds expensive, but realistically, it's not that bad when you look at the cost of most sporting events these days. But yeah, when it comes to YouTube stuff, guys, I don't have anything ready to show yet, but I've got the first little bit of the video about this fort done and working on, just kind of coming up with theming for it. Basically, I've got the first 90 seconds. And I want to do a little bit more polishing before I send it to my feedback crew, but it's going to be similar to that Norland video, but with a bit of a different vibe. I think you guys will like it if you watch that Norland video. Basically, I'm staring at Ambiguous Amphibian and going, could I have a similar vibe without just like copying his shit? Because I respect the hell out of him and I don't want to copy his stuff, but I really like the vibe he's got and like kind of the pacing for his videos. So working on stuff like that, you know, I don't actually mind the system of things that I'm doing now. Is there any dwarf in particular you guys want me to follow for the next little bit? Ambiguous Amphibian, one of the craziest and weirdest things to me ever was realizing that, one, he watches my stuff, and two, he knew who I was when Dwarf Fortress released and rated me a bunch. It was kind of wild, and I'm still not entirely not sure of how I feel about it. That's not the right word, but I'm still not entirely... I never quite came to terms with it. It's just kind of crazy for me that that's just a thing. Finding out that people more famous than you watch your stuff is always wild. You want to follow Neezer? Kiddo made us an artifact. Is currently sleeping, is unconscious. Who need excitement in their lives? Really? Huh. I didn't realize it provides excitement. I guess like you're stalking something, like you're hunting for something. Cybrick the founder over here is telling a story. One, you must never forget loyalty. Repay in full, says Sweet Feet. Still stressed. I also love the fact that Cybrick the founder and Sweet Feet are just hanging out together. These two they're a married couple. She's telling him stories. And he's actually listening to this one, which he wasn't listening to the last one. What story is she telling? I'd be very curious to know. Chat, who do you watch on YouTube? Genuine question. That was the first tutorial series that came out when you were getting into DF. Was that December 22? Or like around 2022 when it released? Because I planned so heavily to make sure that that would happen and work out. There's so much dialogue between me and like Kit Fox Games. Blind IRL, ambiguous amphibian, and many a true nerd. Oh boy, I haven't heard many a true nerd in a while. Warhammer 40k lore guys, got it. YouTube chat is still hunting a purring maggot and haven't gotten anywhere. I mean, it's not guaranteed that you'll have them on your map. We can get a... You're not wrong. We could get a Wambler pile going. Viva la Dirt League. What the heck is that? Is this summer? Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, no, I'm definitely... I don't have the most viewed tutorials. I think Nucrium still has the most viewed premium Dwarf Fortress tutorial. But he didn't make as many, so in total I've made a lot more. I'm partial to my tutorials. I think my tutorials are pretty good. I know that Twisted Logic made a bunch of really good tutorials if you want stuff that's like how to break the game, like how to abuse physics bugs and such. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, Twisted Logic's pretty good, but he doesn't upload very frequently. He's what I describe as a hobby YouTuber. Because he like comes and goes. Like he'll just be gone for a while and then he'll just pop back and then he'll be gone for a long while and then he'll pop back. It's that kind of thing. Okay, so let's go. I need a mechanic shop. I need crafts dwarfs. And we'll plop a second crafts dwarfs. So deconstruct you and deconstruct you. Oh, totally. I mean, I would say that that's the smart way to do it. As somebody who streams for a living, I would not have the confidence to try and do YouTube full-time as, like, my only source of income. Most of your subscriptions are streamer channel. You like Northern Lion. Hearing Northern Lion being referred to as a streamer is funny, because back in my day, Northern Lion was a YouTuber, but yeah. I'm happy that people still watch the Eggman, though. Joshua Weissman, that's a good YouTube channel, yeah. So was Jeremiah. I mean, so was everybody. So was fucking Gassy Mexican. The first live stream I ever watched was Cnanners, Gassy Mexican, and I can't remember who the third one was, but they were playing Borderlands 1 on release day. So if you look up the day that Borderlands 1 came out, that was the day. That stream was a long time ago? Yeah, and it was on Ustream, I think. 2009? I was watching at 144p because that's all my internet can handle. And it had a 2-minute delay. Rather, that was the first video game stream I ever watched. I watched some live streams before that, but that was the first video game stream that I ever watched. Was it Spoon Kid that they were streaming with? I can't remember the last. I just remember it was Cnanners and Gassy Mexican. Those are the two I remember. I can't remember the rest of it. You saw was Justin TV? I think for me it was Blog TV actually. I mean, in Dwarf Fortress, there's like maybe 10 people who actively make content. So I mean, just in general, yeah, V. To get, you're hearing a growing number of people being YouTubers to get found and streamers to make money. It's like YouTube and TikTok to get traffic, and streaming is where you make money, yeah. Oh, did you actually watch Justin streaming on Justin? I never watched Justin streaming on Justin. I heard about it and was like, that sounds very uninteresting. And I still kind of feel that way about a lot of IRL type content. I think I'm going to make a statue of Moldath the Lucky and put it in Vukruk's office. Maybe 10. Hey, chat. What material should I make Moldath's statue out of for stone? I got chert, dolomite, sandstone, shale, and siltstone. Does Devin still stream? I've seen Devin several times, but... Well, there's no metal on this map, Darmond, so gold isn't an option. I think the goldiest one would probably be siltstone, but... Chat's saying dolomite, so we'll go with dolomite. Darius over here. Ate in a dining room. A very good dining room. Okay, so right here, I'm going to go pen pasture. And I'm going to put a pig here. And I'm going to put a second... Well, no, I'll just wall this off once they're out. Haven't caught one in a while. Yeah, that makes sense. Good afternoon. I'm having an okay Pistol Lux. Having an okay day. I do agree with you, though. It should be gold, though. I definitely agree with you that it should be gold. Ba-da-da-bum-bum-bum. Also, I put up a poll on the YouTube channel the other day asking what to name the little doodling mascot in the Future of the Fortress videos, who is Crypt Notes on Twitch. And I think that we're going to call him Urist McScribs. Because those are the two most popular names. Also, 2 seconds. I'll be right back. We're in an ad break right now, so... Yeah, I feel like Devin and also a lot of other people streamed a lot during the pandemic years, but have since kind of ceased to do such things, so I do wonder. All right. I wonder whatever happened with that Forgotten Beast over in the corner that was going haywire with all those creatures. But welcome to the channel, Pistol Lux. It's good to have you. First streamer I ever really sat down and watched was Bro Team. I don't even know who that is. Twitch is, or just like streaming in general, is such a weird industry to retire from. I feel like most people just like voluntarily go insane or just go insane to retire. One of the greatest Twitch retirements I ever saw was Noir, N-O-I-R. And he retired from Twitch and streaming by taking most of his clothes off, doing bong hits repeatedly, and then pouring milk on himself while sitting in a room with a burning, like a green screen behind him that just had a house burning down, and then just got really high and sat there for like 14 hours. And then after doing that, he then streamed Minecraft for like 30 days straight by putting a camera in the top corner of his room and pointing it at his bedroom while he was still mostly naked, doing bong hits. And he had a tiny little CRT in the corner of room with Minecraft on it and a wireless keyboard and mouse, and you could sort of see Minecraft in the corner. Anyway, he eventually got banned from Twitch, but it was a pretty glorious retirement. Okay, so let's open this up, delete this, and let the piggy out. So the idea here... Uh-oh. Well, I was hoping that there wouldn't already be stuff in here. But that's kind of surprising to me, that there's already stuff in here. One must go out in style. I mean, he didn't get permanently banned. He did get his account back. But yeah, I would say... Uh-oh. Okay, so... I'm going to cheat, chat. Reveal hidden units. Because apparently... Did I use that command? Reveal hidden units. Okay, so currently... We do have an abominable smoke zombie in here. And we just discovered some more. Oh! Well... Sorry, Piggy. But it appears we've got another round of fighting that's probably going to happen in a few seconds here. Because I guarantee you, they're coming for us again. And down here, our zombie, while they are bleeding heavily and quite injured, I have a feeling that this dwarf is winning. Okay. Well, they're not winning, but this cave crocodile did win. And this cave crocodile, having killed Glass Cannon, has taken the name Uttered Dissolve. What story did you stumble in on? Oh, me talking about a guy I used to know who used to stream on Twitch, who retired from Twitch by literally going insane. So we do have a smoke zombie currently, who is a crocodile, who is now heading directly towards the enemy army. If you haven't seen this chaos yet, I do recommend you look up, because this will be, hopefully, very entertaining. At least I find it very entertaining. So this is a infected smoke zombie crocodile who anything that it bites is going to become another smoke zombie. So now there's two. 1 and 2. And they are not on the same side. Now there's 3. They are not on the same side, and they will fight amongst each other. But anything that they bite, you know, also becomes a smoke zombie. And there's all of this walking towards them. So let's watch some chaos, shall we? Get ready for lag. This didn't lag my computer at all the last time. In fact, it made the lag less so because a lot of them die in the process. So because a lot of them die, it actually makes the lag less bad. It's also funny, when they get their teeth knocked out, they can't infect anything anymore. Which actually makes me wonder if the giant frog could, because do they have teeth? Do giant toads have teeth? What's up, Animara Masa? But yeah, it wasn't laggy the first time we did this, so we'll see. It may get laggy, but let's hope it doesn't get there. Oopsies. Pause. So for the actual combat logs, Crocodile is strangling the toads, so we're in this kind of boat again. But these guys, are they both strangling it? Okay, so this one's strangling it. This one's strangling it. This one's just getting strangled. And new friends come to help. And I'm going to go over here, and we're going to open up this drawbridge. And we are going to assemble another zombie in there and prep that to be released. I also need to get the zombie that died just now another memorial. What was his name again? I have to go look at the arm that's probably still there, and also zoom out because I'm too zoomed in. There it is. Glass Cannon was his name. So I could probably just memorialize Glass Cannon. There he is. Let's get that engraved, and I probably have another memorial I can place. Do I not? Nope, I don't. Okay. Let's get back to this. Oh yeah, no, there is at any given point about 500 giant caves or various cave creatures on the map. Any new smoke zombies? I mean, these three. Not on the surface, no. I mean, I'm not actively paying attention to animals that are wandering in and out. Most of them are reindeer. My dwarves haven't been turned, and we haven't had a migrant wave in 4 years, and I don't think we'll ever get one again, so not really. I mean, these guys are new, but that's about it. But I'm going to try and set more of them on them. Unless you're asking, have I caught any new ones? Because no. I guess that's too generic of a question for me to give you a direct answer. But also, Adventured Ant-Man, hello, it's good to see you. How was your weekend? Playing any fun games recently? So it's two beings whose primary method of attack is biting, spread infection by biting. Yes, and also they really seem to like wrestling. When it's like they get infected by it and then they get obsessed with wrestling and then do nothing but wrestle, really. Kind of for the, remainder of the fight. So it'd be fun to let it rain in hell. Well, I don't want to let it rain in hell. I just want to let hell to the surface. And that's my victory condition for this fort. If I can break into hell and release hell onto the surface, I will retire this fort. That is my victory condition. And then probably start a new fort in the same area because I'm having way too much fun with this nonsense.
I need emotes, carrot.
Hey chat, need emotes? Prime sub get you emotes for a month. Thanks for the 16th month. Welcome back, Onyx. Appreciate you, dude. What happens if the mount is bit while it's on its rider? The rider dismounts immediately. So they are trying to fight with them, but these guys are locked in combat. Basically, I need this toad to die. Is what I need. And they are bruising it. So if they can kill the toad, then fighting will break out again. Which also appears to be the thing that they are primarily hitting. Yep, the Batman blowgunner is whacking it. All of this is open, which means these are probably getting hauled. And I'm going to place a new statue. And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to place a cage with a dwarf in it, and a cage with a dwarf in it. And then I'm going to connect them to these two levers. Assuming the enemies can't get in, not much could go wrong. I mean, it's actually a pretty stable and safe, quote-unquote, defense. But right now we're in a position where I need to put more things in here. What's up, Suited? I don't even know what you clipped because it's not showing up for me for some reason, but hello. Okay, so I will connect both of these to levers. So we got Avuz and Atir, and then I will close this gate once that's connected, lock the door, and then open the door. And let one more of them out, probably. It's a big smoke zombie. Gotcha. You know, okay, so they're called smoke zombies, right? I can't remember all of Big Smoke's bit in that, certain their video game. Oh, both of their teeth are gone. That's funny. In a Grand Theft Auto. However, I do think that might be a funny bit to do at some point. in a video of me covering this because they are called big smoke zombies. So maybe I should go download that voice sample. Got a number 9, a number this, a number that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, where's this? All the way the hell over here. Can pull. Do pull. So when this gate right here opens, then we can release the first of 2 zombies. Also, chat, come on. 1, 2, 3 people, including the person who resubbed, posted a beer after their resub. This is a shame to beer spam culture. Can we get a couple more beers, please? There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Why Left 4 Dead specifically? I don't even know where they all went off to. But they did leave. This also didn't go anywhere near as well as I was hoping it would. I could just burn them all, actually. And then reopen. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll do that. Let's just close this. And just burn the ones that are in there right now and start again. just set the whole fucking thing on fire and start over, you know? Because sometimes I think that's just the right choice. Burn it to the ground and begin anew. Feel like Big Smoke would do for mods? Oh, probably. Yeah, I don't know. I never got into modding Left 4 Dead. I played Left 4 Dead solo by myself, and that was it. Number 2 and a large drink. Got it. Yeah, see, like, I'm glad some people remember that part of video game culture, because I certainly don't. But yeah, this will all burn. So we won't have to worry about it too much. But we'll release this zombie once they're through. Oh my god. This zombie has 2 pets, and I'm pretty sure they're still alive as zombie abominations, which is funny. Let's just make 2 wooden bins. Hopefully one will go into that stockpile there. And got a good amount of food. I'm not currently making lavish meals. Let's unforbid those. I beg your fucking pardon? Oh my Christ. Sorry, we got bigger problems. Vlakrock, I'm starting to think that you have a choking fetish or something. Traders, yes, chat. There are traders on the map. I repeat, this is not a drill. There are traders on the map, and they're in a place where maybe we can trade with them. Oh, no. They've already broken. Although the question is, how many of these have cages in them? All of them do. Come on, Odom, the Hammer Dwarf. Do some damage to these creatures. Teeth are flying. Mace Dwarf isn't infected yet. All of the livestock are. Zombies with weapons and armor. I think they drop their stuff pretty quickly. But we'll see. I'm more just excited about being able to channel underneath this and get all this stuff. Like there's spears and gear. Zombie, this dwarf isn't converted just yet. He is kicking them. Mang, the merchant, abominable smoke zombie's been found dead. Odom is now an abominable smoke zombie. Dastot's still alive, or still sentient. Dastot is now no longer sentient. Teeth are flying. Well, that's a shame. Also, Moma's Misos. Is that the name of my faction? I can't even remember. Yeah, so that was my faction trying to trade with me. Free supplies. But at what cost, though? Okay, well. The Yak Cow's been found dead. Kick Roast, the Dwarf Merchant, has been found dead. Okay, so it's Mang AB. What was your last name? ALA. Ah, man. I'm so bummed out that they didn't make it. I was so hopeful for a second. I was like, oh my god, if we could just trade. That would be incredible. Their gear's not that great, though. Yeah, it's just copper. The Yak Cow has been found dead. So it's now these two dueling. I'm always incredibly amazed by how quickly they gain skill. So Dastot seems to be the one that won. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down a layer. I'm going to open this up. Let's catch him if we can. Yeah, I don't think they'll be that much more effective than the unarmored ones. But I intend to use them the same way if they get themselves caught, but that's an if, right? But they're not the only one. I mean, oh, did they all die? Or, oh shit, did he leave the map? Oh, he must have left the map. He must have left the map. I wonder if they can... I doubt they can infect, right? Huh. I wonder. I have no idea if that can infect off screen. Anyway, they all left, so... I guess what we do is we go down here. And we get this stuff underground. And then right there. Oh, no. Okay, I see how I need to do this. Okay, so this... right here. So that goes right there. Okay. That'll be something the future will tell you? Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. If they can get infected like that. Would be kind of crazy if they could, but also, like, kind of not surprising. Also, that dwarf became a Hammerlord by the time they were found dead. What was his last name? K. K-O-N-O. Well, can I get some Fs for that poor trading caravan? Because they didn't deserve that, chat. And also a round of beers. just as a proper way of showing our support for them. Speaking of showing support, look at this. There's a giant cave-toad abominable zombie right there. I think we should just release that sucker. Go get him, friend. Go fight your bat brethren. Is what I say. I agree. I think traders should be able to go in through the caverns, but at the same time, like, it doesn't super bother me that they can't. Like, I think they should be able to, but yeah, it doesn't super bother me that they can't. Yeah, no, I mean, it is quite literally a zombie apocalypse that's happening in this world at this point, and it's my fault. I'm just gonna kind of hope that that's happening because that's a really fun narrative bit. Although I do wonder if that already happened with the, what's it called? I do wonder if that already happened with the Outpost Liaison. Because one of the first trading caravans we had in Outpost Liaison got infected and then just vanished. I presumed they died because I wasn't paying that much attention. But, oh boy. I mean, yeah, it was a hammer, like, that they level up, like, instantly. It's kind of wild, actually, seeing how quickly they level up. Which is, like, makes me wonder. It's like, I wonder why they leveled up so quickly. Also, this time I didn't get an Outpost Liaison. Well, Atir apparently is still an axe dwarf. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's not spooky. Also, that was the edge of the map. Oh. We finally had another one get struck down. Locum. I don't think that was from that last trade caravan either. That's one that's been there for a bit. Oh boy. There's a lot more than I thought here that I have not clicked memorialize yet, but... no, that was because the Weasel Strangler was named Strangler, the Strangler, and is still alive and still strangling. So, every day they're still strangling. But, much to my dismay, Vukruk's fascination with this dwarf had led to a question earlier, which is, what about their cousin? I presume that their cousin is dead because they're no longer listed as somebody who's in the fort. So, because we did have, like, some distant relatives of the Strangler arrive at one point, but I presume that they're all dead. I can't remember who they were. Shinobi wants to practice martial arts. He's at home munching brains, dreaming of brains. Dreaming of brains. Speaking of dreaming of brains... Okay, so this right here, I need to drain out into here. And this needs to be closed. And this needs to be opened. Because if that is opened, then I can use that area to put another piece of livestock in there and try and tempt more of them in, because hopefully that'll flood through. Oh, it probably won't. Oh, well. Oh, well. These are, yeah, I'm Vukrok's explaining it. These are the scariest, hardest to deal with type of zombies. Like, far and away. Far and away scariest zombies. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go back to our current bigger project, which is this sucker. So, there's lava around this somewhere. So I'll dig up a little bit, and we'll dig around in here, see what we find. But this is scary. That is scary. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so this is the top layer of this whole thing. And you know what? I might actually dig this out with a collection of, like, cave-ins. And they still have their souls. That's the really weird bit, is that they still have their souls. Ah, jeez. We're in an ad break. Back home you is. Congratulations on a successful journey home. I'm going to go top off my water, because I'm out of water and we're in an ad break, so I will be right back. Please feel free to entertain yourselves for the next 20 seconds. Yeah. Also, pulled my lunch out of the freezer. Yeah, they're possessed by some unknown force. You know what's crazy, chat? I'm not making a sandwich today. Instead of making a sandwich, I am I have a wrap. No sandwich, no. I made a wrap for today. So let's dig above this, because if this is not designated as warm, then there is no lava one layer below. I may also just, like, channel this whole thing out. Kind of flatbread? I said wrap, not a flatbread. But it's a spinach tortilla, white flour tortilla, with chicken, red bell peppers, which I bought, zucchini, which I grew, cucumber, which I grew, like spicy hot pepper powder that I made last year with stuff that I grew, lettuce that I grew, and what else? Oh yeah, an onion that I grew, and no, I didn't grow the chicken. Flatbread's a different kind of bread, so we don't need to call it a sandwich. Also, I'm pretty sure wraps probably existed longer than sandwiches. Sandwiches are a pretty recent invention in the grand scheme of human stupidity and food creation. All right, so I'm convinced now that this is probably safe. But the one final testy that we're going to do with it is this. Yeah, true. I mean, naan's pretty good, but the only naan I really like is naan that I've made myself, and I haven't made naan in a very long time, so I don't generally bother. Okay, so while that's beginning its work, this right here is going to get connected to a lever, probably one that is in the little lever room. Now you want garlic naan? Parmesan and garlic naan. Stuff's pretty good. You know, this layer is the one that's kind of screwing with it. Otherwise, I could just go directly up pretty easily. Star Sapphire. I'm wondering if I actually can see. No, I'm not seeing any exposed stuff. These should be the highest priority. Actually, what I could just do is that and that. Yeah, that'll be fine. I just don't want this one to get left with nothing supporting it, because it'll cave in. That'd be bad. Okay, now that that's done, I can do this and this. That's mildly disturbing. That's all I have to say to that. Are the bats and amphibians on the same side? You know, I don't actually know. Chad, are the different types of cavern creatures on the same side? Or do they fight amongst each other? Because I've never actually managed to get them in the same area with one another. So I don't actually know. Like, seriously, I do not know. I don't know the answer to that. They do? Okay. Yeah, I've never, like, seen them in the same general vicinity. Elfie Bean has started an artifact and is hauling shale. The great manager Elfie Bean. I don't know if I necessarily want them in the same vicinity as well. I've got enough bad people to worry about. That would require me to populate a second cavern layer, and I don't really want to do that. It's not a super high priority. I mean, if it happens, that'll be fun, but it's not something I'm trying to do. I don't need to start a war between them as well. They cleared each other out? That's interesting. That is interesting. It's free metal? No, it's not, because neither of them have metal. They both just have wooden stuff. And also, it's not free, because then you have to go out and get it. The thing you don't understand is this map has no metal on it. So if there's no metal on the map, that includes the Cavern Invaders. And I will keep repeating that there is no metal on this map, and people will never remember. Because there will always be somebody new who's just tuned in who hasn't heard me say that yet. Anyway. But I assure you, there is no metal on this map. It's okay, I forget sometimes too. V. But yeah, that's an interesting concept, Droven. Might have to think about how to use that at some point. All right, so 2 pieces of shale, pig iron, rough pyrites, round gray chalcedony cabochons, rough gray chalcedonis, and black cap logs. Let's jump up to the surface up here, drop 2 layers down, go up to here, jump up. All right, so we're going to try and get this stuff into the fort. And we're going to do it like this. Do I have a hatch? I do. Do I have a door? I do! So I'm going to build both of those, and then I'm going to channel up right here, and I'm going to channel up right here. And then I'm going to immediately channel down beneath them to drop them down into here. And then wall off the area. Similar to what I did, where was it? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Like, I can't remember if they have a way in or not. Right, yeah, I was trying to let the zombies into the cavern layer, and it just didn't work, by the way. That's what I was trying to do there. But they haven't made it very far. Yeah, that's not very far. Same with this guy. They seem bored. Actually, let me try something. Fix retrieve units. And, fix stuck merchants. I wonder. Let's unpause the game for a little bit. Wait for these constructions to come up. Bring in that door. They were forbidden when I was building it, yeah, but there's no reason to unforbid that stuff. But if I keep the items forbidden, then they will. But the upper area is outside of the burrow, so there's no reason for them to move up there anyway. Besides, I do want them to be able to get up there, or to be able to get the loot down. And then what I'm going to immediately try and do is basically seal it off. So actually here, I can show you what I'm going to do. So right here, the items are going to come from up here, drop down, right? And then I'm going to also dig out an area right here so that as soon as the items have dropped down, I can then be like, now channel up from underneath them, right? So channel up, if that makes any sense. So that's going to be an up channel. And this right here is going to be an up channel. So essentially, drop the items down, lock it off, close these doors, give the dwarves a chance to get out, then channel up from underneath, and then seal those two off. That's how this is going to work. So wish us luck, chat. This is going to be precise, but look at all the stuff we're going to get. We're going to get books, cheese, clothing, fancy clothing, lots of instruments, picks, axes, clothing, bits of metal, platinum, a duck, a spiked bismuth bronze ball dwarven wheat flour, plump helmet seed. I don't think it can spread that way, but we've done this twice already, Vakrock, so I'm relatively confident we can pull this off. Elfie Bean, the manager, has created Le Kid Le Shon, a shale coffer, and claims it as a family heirloom. I'm more concerned about random zombies coming sprinting in, so. This is a shale coffer. All craft worship is of the highest quality. Check, and I get a round of beers for that brand new thingy. The meat's already rotted off. Don't worry about it. All craft worship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with round, brilliant cut gray chalcedonis and encircled with bands of rectangular shale cabochons and black cap. This object menaces with spikes of gray chalcedony. On the item is an image of dwarves and shale. The dwarves are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of godly tombs by the fitted cradle on the cryptic beaches in the early spring of 356. And the item is an image of a decahedron in pig iron. On the item is an image of a diamond in pyrite. On the item is an image of marquee cut on the item is an image of a marquee cut gem in pig bone. It's a very heavy coffer. Elfie, where's your bed at? 45 kilograms. What? I mean, that's the thing that you're surprised by? It's an artifact. Artifacts are very arbitrary. Also, we'll just plop it into her study. Pedro Horst, hello. It's good to see you. I hope that you are doing well. But yeah, I'm not worried about the items here. I'm just worried about zombies getting in. Nothing in my fort has any known value because I've never had the opportunity to train any kind of, like, appraisal skill. See, the bodies are splattered with abominable smoke, so I'm not going to bring the bodies down. There is a pool of abominable smoke here, which is kind of scary, but here's hoping we can do this safely. Also, a bumblebee venom barrel. That's exciting. Now we're just waiting on this. All right. Wish me luck here, chat. Cross your fingers and toes. Vakrok is placing the door. Tundra? It's technically I think it's just a temperate. It's like a temperate tundra, which is mirthful, but also haunted. If you want to know more about this embark, I recommend watching this embark is insane video that I uploaded not too long ago. And do not go where I think you're going. And then immediately close that door. It's a lot of bees. Oh, damn right. It's always a lot of bees. It's just, you know, Fluffy Wambler up here. I don't know where that dwarf went off to. It's probably you. Okay. So now those are done. So now that those are done, I'm going to go up here, go up here. Hey, chat, you guys want to fill Pedro into how wrong they are about this embark? Trust me, we're not gonna get anything. We've also, I don't even know how long I've been in this fort now. Maybe 8 years or something. It is raining is instantly zombifying acid. Constantly. So if you walk onto the surface, you're almost instantly dead. We've never successfully traded. We haven't gotten any migrants in several years. So no. Also, it's technically, it's a good biome. And it's not untamed wilds, so there wouldn't be anything giant anyway. And that's why I'm doing this process to get the stuff from the last trade caravan we did get down, because I want a chance to, you know, survive in this fort in the long term. Oh, come on. Let's just use siltstone right there. Gotta watch the surface. Gotta watch the surface. If I see zombies coming, I have to run. Actually, you know what? Let's just pause this. Unsuspend that. Fluffy Wamblers are not infectable. Vermin are not infectable by normal means because they cannot take part in any kind of combat. So no, that is not a smoke zombie fluffy Wambler. That is just a fluffy Wambler. How strong are the zombies compared to the dwarf? It doesn't matter how strong the zombies are compared to the dwarf. What matters is the zombies, if they bite you successfully, you become one of them, and then I lose the dwarf forever. So it doesn't actually matter how strong they... Fucking hell, somebody is smoking some dank-ass nonsense right next to my apartment. I smoke weed, and I like weed. Fucking get good weed. So many people just get crap fucking weed, and then it just smells awful. Keep forgetting they're vermin. It's pretty hard to forget that they're vermin. Yeah, fucking get good weed. Good weed doesn't smell like that. Trust me, I have no problem with anybody smoking weed. That is not a good place to play, kid. I mean, you don't want to smoke seeds. If you smoke seeds, they explode like a fucking firecracker, which admittedly is very funny. If somebody is smoking seeds or weed with seeds close to you, that is very amusing. But it certainly smells like stems. Yeah, funny if you're watching and not the one doing it because suddenly your nose is burned. Nope, I will never be able to successfully trade in this map, Perry. Unless one of them manages to get to one of my doors. There is a 100% chance I will not be able to trade at any point in this map. In a good biome, so you keep thinking Wamblers are larger? Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those very common mistakes that people make, which is kind of funny to me. This kid's just found a bunch of toys for the first time ever, and he's like very excited. I'm just gonna lock this door and just be like, okay, Shinobi, can you please just finish making these? That's what we need. Just get these built, and then we're good. Has it rained water? So this biome is bugged. I do honestly I know it sounds silly, but it's easier to explain if you watch the video I made on this fort, which is the third most recent YouTube video I uploaded. The reason I recommend it is this biome is bugged. So it has one biome that snows, which is perfectly normal. It's just a good biome. The other one is bugged, and that one has spooky stuff going on in it. And I cannot tell you exactly what's going on because I don't know. Because it's not the biome that I settled on, I don't get any notifications for that particular biome, making it quite difficult for me to actually tell you exactly what is happening at any point. Especially considering the nonsense that Vuckrock really likes in the chat, which is the zombies that are infinitely strangling each other, which is just constant combat logs, meaning I don't actually get notifications for half the stuff that happens in this fort because it's usually instantly just, like, you know, cleared. The notification is. Anyway, we got the stuff out safely, so that's good. So do I. Trust me, I have so many questions about this fort. I'm going to edit this entire fortress together into one big video at some point, though. That is my plan for it. Because I'm quietly recording behind the scenes as well. Nope, I have not heard anything from Putnam. Putnam's been very inconsistent in her responses to me, which is fine. She doesn't have to be consistent. All right, well, that's going to be a lot of hauling jobs for a bit. We're going to close all this. And I've got that zombie on the surface here. I'm going to go open this. And let's jump back down. And then also open this. Because this zombie should be allowed out. I will just state that that is incorrect. Nobody has made it, right? Because the second one member of a trading caravan goes into combat, the trade caravan is canceled. Meaning, nobody's made it. In fact, that is probably the worst case scenario, is that somebody gets zombified and then leaves. So, no, nobody's made it. This history is interesting. It's kind of terrifying, to be honest. Dokar, the bunny abominable snowman, has been struck down. Now, the reason that's funny is it's named, implying that it killed something at some point. Now they're fighting with a turkey. Yes, Big Bang. Merchants can leave through the caverns. They just can't enter through the caverns. The problem is, at this point, I don't even know if they could leave through the caverns. I don't, actually. Okay, so I have a feeling most of these dwarves are going long walks. Putting stuff away. Apparently, I've got a horse in a cage. What else do we have? We've got various weapons. We've got bolts. We've got pickaxes. We've got crystal glass. We've got crowns. Not a bad collection of things. It's just going to take us a while to haul them all. Let's just go into here and remove these two. All right, sweet. So, since we've done that, did they ever make those bins? It looks like they did. I don't know what stockpiles they ended up in, though. Okay, there's one. This is a finished goods stockpile. Figurines. Bracelets. Oh, scepters. That's the other one that I'm missing here. It's like, why is stuff not going in here? Enjoy the swap to the PC. Have a good time on PC. It's too late. And also, I wouldn't be able to get up to the surface to build a roof. All the dwarves would get zombified. The thing that you need to realize about this embark is when I first tried to embark here, everybody instantly died. Every single time. Like, instantly. Like, just these literal second I hit the embark button, everybody died. It took me a while to get an embark where we didn't instantly die, let alone, like, you know, anything else. This embark is actually impossible to properly live on. And that's where it ends at. Like, it is It is impossible to live on. So for me, my victory condition, because I like to set a victory condition for a fort, the victory condition for this fort is release the demons of hell onto the surface. And if I do that, that's my victory condition. So that's what we're trying to do, is release the demons of hell onto the surface. I'm also just going to go right here. I'm just going to place just a black cap log. We'll wait for this to get done. I'm trying to see if I can get glass. Don't even need that much. Just a little bit of glass. How's Grunty doing? Focused? That's good. Most of these dwarves are actually in quite good spirits too, which is actually awesome. Dwarven environmental survival suits. Sounds like some mods would be needed for that, man. This poor dwarf. I don't even know what this dwarf needs. You're super new. What does that mean? So in Dwarf Fortress, there's good biomes, neutral biomes, and evil biomes. Evil biomes. I don't know if this person's in an ad now. Ads suck, chat. Why do I have to deal with this nonsense? It always throws off my train of thought. Meanwhile, like XQC out here saying that he makes $6,000 a day in ads. It's like, it's true. I do make like 20 bucks a day in ads, but it doesn't change the fact that they're really fucking annoying. Anyway. Just gonna wait for this ad to end. Fort's mindset is, at least I'm not outside. Pretty much. It's all those people who pretend that they're allergic to the outdoors. Love this fort. Outdoors is good for you, chat. You should go outside sometimes. It's healthy. Touch grass. I just don't like that it breaks up my train of thought constantly. I mean, username checks out a night dweller. All right, so I'm just going to pretend the ads are done. What this means is this biome is haunted, basically. If you're in a haunted biome, there is a chance you can get evil weather. Evil weather can have different effects depending on what you got for your evil weather. The evil weather on this particular fort is it rains goo that turns you into a mindless zombie that kills everything on sight, doesn't need to sleep, eat, or drink, and retains their soul. The zombification is spread through biting or getting that rain on your head. So essentially, if you get rained on outside, guess what? You're fucked. So if you stand outside at the wrong time and just happen to be unlucky, you are now a zombie. And there's nothing I can do. There's no cure. I cannot heal them. I cannot tell them what to do. I have no control over them, and they try to kill my dwarves on sight. That's what happens when you go to the surface. There is no way around it. There is no way to game it. There's no way to gimmick it. You're just fucked, basically. That's why this place is so dangerous. And the reason I can't go to the surface is because of that. And when it comes to getting hell to the surface or demons to the surface, well, that's endgame spoilers. Rain creates a zombie. Yes. How am I selecting my military dwarves? Do not put dwarf in military unless they want martial training or want to complete a skill. How do you handle their stress? Same way you handle any dwarf stress. You try and maintain their needs. Some dwarves will just get broken and can't be fixed, like this one seems to be. But make waterfalls, make taverns, make dining rooms, give them good bedrooms, give them good clothing, give them items, give them crafts, give them good quality gear. Some dwarves will just hate it, and don't put those ones in the military when they start to obviously hate it. And if they're constantly stressed, remove them from the military. Some dwarves need to train in the military temporarily, but not as a full-time career, like this one. This one would not be a good military dwarf. However, enjoys joining the military to get that martial training need met. Hopefully, but that's still my win condition. Like Whimsical. And as far as this fort, I don't really have a military. I've got 4 military dwarves, and they're not in great spirits. to put it simply. In fact, I would say their moods are kind of the worst in the fort. But yeah, if the demons are made from anything even remotely fleshy, yes, they will be zombified. Basically, I'm trying to cause the apocalypse. Any questions? What, the stress, Salva? Yeah. I mean, tomato, tomato. Will I continue playing this world if I succeed? Probably, why not? It's not like it'll actually end the whole world. The world's quite large. There's a lot of factions that are still perfectly functional that are very far away from here. I think a lot of people presume, and it's correct for you to presume, that when I say start an apocalypse or something like that, they think that it means the world is unplayable. No, that's not at all what it means. It just simply means that I'm trying to make this map unlivable, or more unlivable than it already is. Also, I've got 2 really fucking stressy dwarves. Are you in the military? Yeah, you are. Okay, so I'm going to get this squad training. And the reason I'm going to get them training is because they train directly in a waterfall, and I need this dwarf to go stand in a waterfall for a bit. In fact, we might just put everybody on break time for a little while. And also, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just put everybody on break time for a little bit. Dwarves, it's break time. And by that, I mean I'm putting every single dwarf who isn't in the military into a military squad. And they're all going to go train. And they're all going to go train right here. No, they don't. They've never done that. Droven. It can cause some pretty major changes to the overworld, in that it can cause also I am Ol. Thank you very much for that tier 1 subscription. I totally missed that. It is also worth noting that also the first resub and notification of money on the stream in an hour. So if you haven't, by the way, chat, go subscribe to my newsletter, which can be found right there. It's a weekly recap of all the work that I've done, as well as some writings about video games that I've been playing. It's free to sign up, but there are paid tiers for extra fancy things. Anyway, what was I saying? A Dwarf Fortress in a lot of cases isn't about, like, winning, per se. It's about just completing a goal that you've set for yourself. The goal that I've set for myself is to release the demons onto the surface. That won't destroy the whole world. It won't cause them to spread throughout the world, but what it can do is it can cause different factions to become allied to try and fight them back. And that's about it. I know that some of them can integrate into the world, but it's not as cataclysmically apocalyptic as you think it is, because simply put, if it was that apocalyptic, no worlds would ever make it through World Gen, because the dwarves dig too deeply and greedily all the time in World Gen. So think about it that way, and just kind of, I guess, remember that. It's like, if digging too deep destroyed the world, there'd be almost no fortresses. The thing is, there's fun and then there's unplayable. And I'm not going to be able to clean up hell. I don't have enough dwarves. I realize that I'm like, the proper way for me to do this actually would be like, yeah, sure, let's do that. But the thing is, I guarantee you, it won't work. So it's very easy for me to just be like, yeah, no, sorry, that's not how the game works. It won't work that way. It's way too easy for me to say that. I should probably stop doing that and give you guys some hope and goad you along so you think it's possible. But like, if something I'm doing If I know something isn't possible, I'm just not going to do it. No, craft word. They are wild animals. Yes, Rabzul. It's around the magma sea. It's called semi-molten rock. It's these two upset dwarves that I'm trying to work on right now. Of course, they're both napping. Of course, they're both napping. If you scroll up and down in the Z levels, you'll eventually notice that the mouse stops scrolling. That's about where you need to get to hit that level. But yeah, I think that the demons spread through the world is probably, if I had to bet, to do with Boat Murdered era Dwarf Fortress. Because there was certain things that you could do to make worlds unplayable in that era. And there is also a lot of extrapolating that people do about basically just from stories from the time from that era. And I think that a lot of people hear those stories once, take them to heart, repeat them ad nauseum forever, and constantly re-remind people of that era. And that isn't to say that those things were never wrong, because they certainly were correct at a point. But when people are just super used to regurgitating the same information, even if it's from a fabricated story, and like you need to remember, a lot of the information about Dwarf Fortress comes from these stories. A lot of the marketing that Dwarf Fortress has had over the years comes from these stories. And these stories are made up fiction based on the events and happenings of a fortress, right? Like if you watch a Krug Smash video, 2/3 of that is fiction that he's made up for the story that he's extrapolated from the events and happenings of a fortress. Very little of that is actually gameplay mechanic. And in the era of Boat Murdered, there was a lot of that going on. So that's all I can really say. All I have to say, though, is thanks for hanging out, chat. And anything you can do to keep the chat moving be greatly appreciated these days because, believe it or not, doesn't matter how big your channel is, even mine can get kind of quiet sometimes. So thanks for taking the time to watch. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. And thanks for chatting in the chat room. God damn it. New release from Mitch Murder. I don't want to buy another record. Although I don't think this one has a record, so that's okay. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep the chat moving. Because chat moving keeps my job easier. Chat, Jornelius, subscribed with Prime for 18 months. It depends on the kind of zombie. Generally, fire is the best way to kill zombies, is fire. I don't think you can, well, in order to plant a strawberry in hell, sunlight would need to go into hell. Which, yeah, you could do that. That would be very time-consuming, though. Although now you just need to get kind of lucky, too. I've built a tavern in hell before. I've built several structures in hell. Okay, you got a pretty decent meal. You put on well-crafted items. God, the portraits are so good. Steel short sword. Nice. Does want the martial training. We can clear through that. I don't think we'll be able to build a hell tavern in this fort. So because I only have 21 dwarves, my actual power to be able to break into hell is very minimal, right? Because I have such a small number of dwarves that are actually functional. I'm not going to do a generation fort for the reasons I discussed earlier, and the more you ask me, the less I want to do it, so just remember that. And that was a pathetic round of beers, chat. Come on. We have an 18-month resub, and we got 2 people posting beers. How many times do we need to say this loudly and... Please post beers, chat. Thank you. This is why chat's quiet, is because I have to tell chat to post beers. If I have to tell chat to post beers, it's summertime, is what that means. No, I mean, the reality is I don't have enough dwarves to actually win a fight against Hell. And in order to build structures in Hell, you just kind of have to accept that you're going to lose a lot of dwarves. So that's not part of my win condition for this fort. I'm not going to even try because it's just going to be a non-starter. Sorting inventory. No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. But at the end of the day, I just like a chat that moves, that I can converse with, because I feel like I'm going insane if I just sit here and talk to myself. To me, like, success in streaming is not having to talk to yourself all the time, because it means that you have an audience that's big enough and active enough that, you know, you don't have to talk to yourself all the time. And in the summer, I have to talk to myself a lot of the time. And it sucks. I wish I didn't have to, but I do. So it is what it is. Oh, I gotta swap from this one to this one. Let's just delete these squads and go into here and do this. What's the name of that ghost? Because I gotta get that ghost memorialized or we're gonna have some grief. Totally fine. That's how my tomatoes are doing. Yeah, well, we're not getting any immigrants either because we haven't successfully traded, right? In order to get immigrants, you need successful trading, right? And we've never successfully traded. Yep, no, this is becoming a tomb for gods. And in this case, I would say the gods are the titans. And the tomb is for the dwarves. Here's the thing. 1, I probably know exactly what you mean, and 2, there is no safe way to dig into Hell. The safest way to dig into Hell, you need glass, and I don't think I actually have any glass on this map. Because there are no sand layers, so unless I can make glass appear on one of the cavern layers, there is no glass on this map. But digging into Hell is very slow, laborious, and time-consuming regardless of how many precautions you take. And regardless of how many precautions you take, it's still not guaranteed that you will be able to do it safely. So for me, I guarantee you didn't create that. You probably use the exact same strat that just about everybody uses. Smoothing can help and fortifying walls can help. But there is no one-stop, this is the safe way to dig into Hell. It's just designed to be almost impossible to do it safely. There are ways to minimize the risk, but there's no one-stop safe way. Every single trader who has showed up has become a zombie, yes. I've already done that, it doesn't matter. Hills Wiggler. And also, we just don't get migrants anymore. Okay, so that's furrowed clay. I have 4 trapdoors, 1 at each corner of the map. And every single time traders have appeared, they haven't even gotten within 150 tiles of them. Because there's so many zombies on the surface that they just get dogpiled. You say that you created them because you taught yourself? Totally. No, I know what you mean. What's your own invention? But if it's a system that works, it's probably a system that other people use. Because there's only so many ways to do it. There's like 4 ways to do it kind of safely or just dig. But even just digging is kind of not possible anymore. And to be clear, I don't actually like the way that you have to dig to Hell right now. I think it sucks. Like, I think it's really bad. It's possibly the worst part of the changes for this version. I'm not going to get sand from this. I'm just going to get dirt, right? Yep. All right, so no sand on the cavern layer. I don't know what those numbers are, so I'll just bop them for you. Looked like it needed to be bopped. Well, it's, I guess for me, the reason I'm saying, like, you're probably not the first person to come up with it, is I have a lot of people who credit me with things like, oh, Blind invented mist generators. No, I didn't. Holy shit, this is a big map. I did not invent mist generators. People shouldn't credit me for inventing mist generators. Like, it's just like I didn't invent quantum stockpiles, which is two things that I've been told by people that I have invented, because I'm the first person who made a video about it that people remember seeing. Apparently that means I invented it. So, option A, I don't think is viable here. Option B might be. So let's do this. Option B. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix this dwarf. I also don't need a dwarf to start tantruming on me. Hey, chat room. Have you ever dug too deep? Do you have a go-to strategy? Holy crap, money! Thanks for doubling my revenue for the day, Van Ori. Thanks for the 5-pack of gift subs. You know how you feel this game never had many people teaching about it? I mean, I can count them on like 2 hands. It's like Captain Duck, Nukrium, Das Tactic, myself, Jeff Stream, Krug Smash, Twisted Logic, 2 hands. Probably somebody who speaks a language I don't speak. That one Russian guy, you've not dug too deep. Oh, wow. I mean, it is really annoying to do these days, so I wouldn't really recommend it, to be honest. Do we have any ghosts on the map that I need to deal with? Not currently that I'm seeing. You survive on my tutorials? I'm glad. I've had a number of people tell me that I need to make tutorials for Norland. All I have to say about that is I don't think I'm any good at Norland, so I don't make tutorials for games I think I'm bad at. If I think I'm bad at something, or I feel like I have no authority or like ability to, oh, actually, what's his name? There was that one other guy. But if I feel like I have no authority or like no ability to actually communicate what I'm playing, then I'm just not going to make tutorials about it. Like, I could just go stare at a wiki or look at somebody else's guide and just like basically plagiarize it, but like, no thank you. It's not why I make content. So the dwarves are currently on burrow 3, not on break time. Yeah, I don't know what I can do with this dwarf. Second time I was losing the bottom half of the fort and started to retake the rest. Ended up having some frame rate issues, probably related to the door you had to lock. Yeah. I'll believe it. Dwarf just went and, like, claimed a second crown. Well, hopefully that second crown makes you feel good about your life there, Dwarf. Only on your super cheated mechanic testing worlds. Interesting. I ever made a golden fort? Why would I do a thing like that? I made a fort out of soap once. Gold is silly, though. Why would I make a fort out of gold? I don't really play in worlds that have super accessible minerals because I find that to be really boring. I think that being able to acquire minerals and materials should be a challenge and not an easy thing to accomplish. So I personally find worlds that have super duper 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 abundant construction materials to be really boring. So I don't really play them. But yeah, YouTube chat's asking if I've ever made a fort out of gold. And the answer is no. Because I play on, like, pretty much just rare minerals. So if I find iron and tin on a map, I'm already ecstatic. This particular map has no naturally occurring metals. So all of the metals we have been acquired from other places. It forces you to actually have to trade, which I do enjoy quite a lot. Would take too long? No, it's not something that benefits the way I play, I guess. It's not something that I organically do. Like chat room, like when you play Dwarf Fortress, what mineral scarcity do you play on? Because for me, making a fort out of gold is just kind of redundant because playing on the rarest mineral scarcity, there's absolutely no logical reason for me to have a goal like that because it would literally take decades for me to do that. So this is the second option. At the very least, it shows me where the water and lava is. So this is how we're going to be digging down. We're going to be looking for water and lava this way, and then we're going to be pumping it out. We're going to be using these minecart routes, and they also show us where the open areas are. So there's an open area right there. They can show us where monsters are. I don't know if there actually is a monster in that or not. I just know that there's an open area there. So what I can do is that. Oh my god, hacks? Totally. Yes, call VAC. Streamer needs a VAC ban. And also, these aren't hacks, but they are tracks. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a way to, like, learn the game, Lord Walnut. I mean, everybody gets enjoyment out of completely different parts of this game, right? I get enjoyment from the design, role-playing, and kind of the, like, discovery elements of the game. Whereas many people get enjoyment from completely different parts. Okay, so dolomite, iron, steel. Yeah, see, I don't think steel is as important as people say it is. As an example, one of my most successful forts in history didn't have iron. It was copper and silver. We had tetrahedrite. And I think galenite or galena. So it was like lead, copper, silver, and that was it. All of our weapons were maces and hammers and bolts, and it did really well in the long term. And to me, like that is one of the coolest forts I've ever done, and one of the coolest like sets of equipment I've ever had for dwarves. And to me, I think making do with what I have is a more interesting story mechanic than just going for whatever is the strongest. Just gotta find evil weather and knock it off the list. Using advanced world gen, you can make evil weather a lot more likely. Elite Traxor. Sure, yes. I'm sure that's a thing somebody has said once before. As in, like, you know, that Traxor. That That tracks or something. Deconstruct this. Actually, no, not that. Maybe once this thing's been built. Basically, I got to get this lava over. Okay, we'll do this spot right here. Get the lava over through here. It'll set those rubies on fire, but that's okay. Can pump the lava through. Got Elfie Bean bringing in a door. You only have like 100 hours in, still trying to figure out the thing. You've lost your fort to a siege. Damn humans. Oh yeah, no, totally. I mean, if you're learning the game, don't play the game the way I do. The only reason I play this game this way is because I've been playing it for so long that I have to make it interesting, right? And there's some things I just have to do to make a game interesting. I think anybody can probably understand that to a degree, where it's like, you know, if you want something in the long term to remain exciting, you have to, and I think this is also like where probably YouTube challenge culture kicks in a little bit, right? Is in order for people to enjoy a thing after you've played it for an ungodly amount of hours, you need to do something to change it up, right? You need to do something to make it different. And for me, that's, you know, I limit the amount of minerals I get. I limit the amount of materials I get. And that's, you know, part of the fun. It's definitely part of the fun. Did I ever hook this up to a lever? I did not. We'll pause game, link this up to a lever. Oh, what time is it? It is 1:30. Let's fly back down to there. RuneScape Iron Man took years of your life. Yeah, I'm glad I got away from RuneScape. I'm very, very glad I got away from RuneScape. Very, 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 very glad I got away from RuneScape. Yeah, I you know, also another thing about the metal scarcity, when I started playing Dwarf Fortress actively, right, especially when I started streaming Dwarf Fortress actively, the default metal scarcity that the game would set you off on was the middle one, not everywhere, right? So it was one rarer than that. And that's what I was used to. And that's what I spent the majority of my time really learning the game well playing with, was pretty damn rare and infrequent resources. And so to go from being used to pretty damn rare and infrequent resources to suddenly everything being virtually infinite, when you make that swap, you realize pretty quickly that, oh, maybe I enjoy playing this game more with these settings, with the things on rarer. And when I started playing on premium, I immediately stopped setting things to default and turning it down back to where it was previously, because that's just what I was used to. So I already learned the game playing with less consistent materials, and still at it. Still have a RuneScape account from 2003. I got one from like 2007. It is very abundant, and I know why they did it. I mean, I think that Dwarf Fortress developers themselves like drank their own Kool-Aid a little bit with the difficulty of Dwarf Fortress. You know, Dwarf Fortress isn't difficult, and I still people will call me crazy to the end of the day, till the end of time. But genuinely, Dwarf Fortress in and of itself is not a particularly difficult game. It's a very obtuse game, but obtuseness does not equal difficulty. And I think that they drank their own Kool-Aid a little bit with the presumed difficulty of Dwarf Fortress with this release, because they did two changes that I really don't like. They changed how digging too deep works. It's almost impossible to do it accidentally now, which I think was the fun of it. And they added the Cavern invaders. And I think the Cavern invaders are a good change, but I think they're very poorly thought out and very poorly balanced. And I think that this game would be in a much better place if those weren't in the game right now. So I think they probably made the right decision, making the game easier in some ways. But I think it could have been thought out more, I guess. You still think DF needs some difficulty? I think it can absolutely have some difficulty. Settle on a terrifying haunted map. Most of those will give you some difficulty. Or settle on just normal untamed wilds and try and build in the caverns. Like, I think that Dwarf Fortress has difficulty. It's very player controlled and not in you select a difficulty. Well, I mean, I guess you could theoretically go over here and turn up the difficulty, right? You could set it to hard. And you can set I like setting the economy to hard. That's actually quite fun. It makes things more expensive. But setting the enemies on hard just makes sieges happen more often, which is like whatever. I do think that Dwarf Fortress can have difficulty, but it's whether or not you want there to be difficulty and not whether or not the game in and of itself is hard. Is economy in the game now? Sorry. I just had to impact my forehead real hard. Turning the economy difficulty up makes bartering harder. So it makes things cost more to make, or it costs more to trade for. Hard economy makes it easier to some extent? How? I mean, like, when you get a temple demanded, you have to put higher value into it. So I'll say this. If you are playing on hard economy with a scarce mineral world, it's quite difficult to make anybody happy with their bedrooms because you don't have things that you can just use to inflate value really quickly. You have to, like, go out of your way to decorate with bones. You have to go out of your way to decorate with gems. You have to make valuable crafts and place them on pedestals and rooms. I don't think it makes the game easier. Although I'd love to hear how you think it makes the game easier. It's not cheating if you're enjoying the game. It's a single-player sandbox. It's impossible to cheat in a single-player sandbox. Like, the concept of cheating doesn't exist in a single-player sandbox. Lord Walnut. Like, it's just silly. So we're going to drain this as best we can. And then I'm going to go up to here, channel this out. To prevent the fort from looking like a chaotic quilt. I mean, I like doing that too. But I never thought of it as a chaotic quilt. That's just funny. So that's a scary gap right there. So I think that'll just melt. Because it's a ruby. Okay, we can stop doing this. Oh, totally. I mean, like, it's not hard to do that. I still don't consider it cheating. Like, there's no such thing as cheating in a single-player sandbox. Yeah, okay, so that melted. So I need to pump out this layer. No, not really, Piggy Gamer. The only thing that can cause dwarves to trip is them getting startled or attacked by something. And that doesn't really happen when there's nothing around that could startle them or trip them. I will tell you pretty much for fact that that is one of those things that never really existed as a mechanic in the game, and due to player stories, people presume it's a mechanic in the game. Dwarves tripping. They can fall when they're running too fast, if they're going down ramps, which can cause them to fall and hurt themselves. But do they just trip into lava? No. Can they fall into lava? Absolutely. But they don't really just trip into lava. Okay, so that's scary right there, so I have to go like right here, basically. Trying to just let all this water together into one spot. Every fort should have a library if you have books, yeah? Because dwarves like reading. Angel Greed, thank you much for the raid. That's the first and probably only raid I get today. Thanks a ton, dude. I really appreciate when other members of the Dwarf Fortress community raid this channel because, to be honest, growing in Dwarf Fort's difficult. So thank you. Has anyone done a minecart system taking rocks from the deep near the surface? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's much easier if you just use wheelbarrows. Wheelbarrows will always be more efficient for rocks. But welcome, Angel Greed and Raiders. I hope the stream was good. I hope that you had some exciting / fun events in Dwarf today. Mods, if I have any of you listening, could I get a shout out for Angel Greed? Otherwise, I will do it in a moment. But thank you regardless for the raid. So here's hoping this will just create 2 obsidian spots and then fill that out. And then we'll get them flowing back onto this side, which I could probably do right there. Although I don't know what's... Yeah, that's fine. And that. Tilly was really beefy. The meatball or the Forgotten Beast? Because I feel like a meatball should be really beefy. Seems like appropriate meatball behavior, if you ask me. Okay, and that, and that, and that. And this guy right here can get dug out, but we could probably just do this. Got busy towards the end there. Well, there you go. Congratulations on the completion of work. Let's see if I can just pump this out. Should probably also just bring some blocks down here. Is it worth having one writer and one researcher just to have books for the library? It's very difficult to actually get them to write books. It's a very, very, very slow and not straightforward process. But it is very much worth stealing books from elsewhere and putting them in your library. Okay, so let's just do a bunch of this, bunch of this. Dig this sucker out a little bit. Make it look a little bit more organic. You know, I could probably just go one down and then just fill this backwards into here. So that's scary, basically. That scary. So I'm going to do you and you. That'll be my warning node to not go there. And then we're going to pump this stuff out from down here. Somehow. We'll figure it out. And a dwarf dies of dehydration because the dwarf went insane and refused to drink. Oh, fuck. Did I just crash the game? I think I did. It was late winter, too. Also that, yeah. Injured patients need water delivered via buckets to a hospital. Christ. Hey, well. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check what I was working on. Nothing crazy. Okay, so we haven't started digging that out yet. Was this before or after I got all this stuff down? This was after. Not too long after I did that. Dwarves are all still in the individual combat drills. I think I'm just going to let them train for a little bit. Is what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm just going to put them onto staggered training, monthly orders, and we're just going to put everybody into the break time burrow. And we're just going to leave them there for a little bit. Is what I'm going to do. Wait, me? Solistars or who? If you click on the dwarves and it says haggard or stricken by melancholy, so it would say haggard like underneath health, and then up here it would say oblivious or stricken by melancholy or sunk into depression. It means that they're too depressed to function. They will eventually just stop eating and die if you make them that depressed. And also, if you fail an artifact, that's a guaranteed way to make that happen. So chat, I know exactly how I broke that door. Clicking on an icon for an open door as the door opens, when there's another thing occupying the tile, breaks the game. It's a known bug. I'm going to real quick go get my lunch, and we're just gonna see if we can improve moods a little bit before we go and try and tackle that a second time. I'll be back. And please entertain each other in the chat room. And if you happen to have those sound commands, now's a good time to use them. And if you haven't yet, go sign up to my blog. It's a free newsletter that has paid options if you would like it, where you get a weekly roundup of all the stuff I've done. I will be back.
Let's take a lovely fruit, the tomato. Remove everything that's good from it, the seeds, the vitamins, the nutrients, everything that's good about it, and just jam it full of shit garbage shit sugar and put it in a shit bottle that sounds like shit when you put it on your shit. It's shit! Stop eating ketchup!
Cheese for everyone!